Welcome, travelers. If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your Roll for Coal director, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, and the setting is based on the fan-made world Agents of Oblivion, the perfect cocktail of horror and espionage by Reality Blurs. Our players are agents in a Black Ops organization called Oblivion, where they encounter everything from terrorists to cultists to ancient eldists. Without further ado, please enjoy this special one-shot, Agents of Oblivion, the Parable of the Christmas Stalking. Case file 1217-AO-23. Domestic terrorism. A recent activity has been officially qualified as, quote, domestic terrorism, unquote. 2 incidents of inciting riots with casualties were reported in New Orleans, Louisiana. Each took place 1 week apart over the last 2 weeks. If patterns can be trusted, then today could bring another attack. A suspicious character was captured in video and photo of both events, portraying violent gestures. Someone with similar mannerisms has been traced to another high-traffic location. Necessary intel is attached to this report. Your objective is to find and track the suspicious person and determine if they are acting on their own or on orders from another suspect. Good luck, agents. With these mission specs in mind, as you guys have arrived in the beautiful and bustling city of New Orleans, you guys have a vehicle ready and waiting for you. In fact, who's driving?
Somebody had a skill
Sarah
for
drive.
it.
She's got a skill for it. She's good at it.
Wonderful.
They're all gonna die.
You
That's
haven't
my
died yet.
So you are given the directives, you're given your location to arrive, and you find yourselves going through the streets and miraculously somehow finding some parking at the beautiful and historic Café du Monde on Decatur Street. This lovely little cafe has numerous people already there. A lot of tourists are sitting around. You see a full variety of people, especially with it being the holidays. You see some loud families. You see some couples, young and old. You see a few men in sharp suits. You see a few solo visitors. Even across the street, just this whole area, even across the street over in Jackson Square, it's full of sightseers and window shoppers. And even not far off, you hear the tolling of a bell from one of those charity tents. And you see this man dressed like Santa Claus. He's holding up a bucket. There's this dainty woman in a company uniform next to him. They're collecting money for the poor and for the needy. But as you guys arrive, you realize that it is quite full, so you don't find a spot immediately to sit yourselves. If you wanted to sit, you would have to wait, but you do have full view of the cafe. It's beneath this, there's one larger sitting area that's beneath this green and white kind of tented roof. And then further in, there's a more closed off-ish area of the cafe, but every one of those tables is full. There are servers going about helping their patrons. It smells delicious. Like, you can't wait to get inside. It smells amazing. So as you guys reach your destination, what are you doing?
He's looking around to see if there's any security cameras outside or any security cameras inside once we get inside.
Sure.
If there are, she's gonna try to see if she can hack them remotely to look at footage to see if she can see whoever this person is with similar mannerisms that we're looking for, if she sees them on any of the security footage.
Okay. That will be a notice roll, if you please.
13's gonna look around for any doors that are like marked private or staff only that people don't want people going behind.
Claire goes up to random people and starts asking them questions about their day, how the beignets are, and what they recommend ordering.
Oh my gosh.
So I got 11.
That is a success and a raise. You look about, certainly on the outside, you don't see anything. It's a very low-key style of cafe, and it's an old one. It's not that it's outdated, it just doesn't seem to have that kind of technology about it. This might be a little bit more of a hands-on situation. 13, you said you were looking for any kind of don't go in here situation.
Yeah, do you want me to do a notice for that?
You just by looking at it, you can see
Okay,
that it's so open air. There's really nowhere to. The only no-go place would be like the kitchen, which is all the way at the back behind a wall where there are servers and cooks and such running back and forth back there. That's like all the way back. ESP, you've just started going up to some people?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's all kinds of questions.
Yeah, lovely. Let's just see.
Oh, do we have a physical description of the person that ran off in here?
You have a number of intel documents that were included in your mission brief.
Okay, so is there an image in this folder?
You can certainly go through it. Give me just a moment. Let's have ESP give me a persuasion roll.
Excellent. That's just 10 total.
Yeah, you start going up to a number of people, and there are, like I said, all manner of people here. There's a family group that you get excited to talk to the parents and, see what's going on there. A mom and a dad, they have a teen son who's kind of just like sitting back with his phone while the two younger kids are eating and giggling and whatever. They're on vacation for the holiday, visiting family, super excited. You come across this one younger couple, very touchy-feely, and you see bright, fresh wedding bands on both their hands. Seems like a newly wedded couple enjoying their honeymoon time for the holidays. A little off-putting, you come across, there's one gentleman you walk up to. He's sitting solo. He was just kind of staring down at his plate. There's this toasted sandwich on his plate, and he's looking intently at it. And the moment that you go up to begin speaking to him, he just darts this angry look at you, looks back at his food, doesn't respond to you.
Did your food do something to you? You're looking mighty angrily at that sandwich. I'm sure if you don't like it, I can get you a different one.
He looks back at you. This ain't the time. Mind your own. He looks back.
Oh, I don't mind my own business. This is a trait of mine. I don't really do that. So, what's the sandwich do to you?
Give me up another persuasion roll.
That's another 6 on a die. Different one, but that's a 7 total.
You ask him the question and his eyes dart back at you and he slams his hand on the table. The table rattles. The nearby tables kind of peek over for a moment before looking a little unsure and going back to their own business. And he glares at you. You best get away. You best back up now. He goes back to looking down.
Is that a threat? You don't seem
Yes.
you could seem like a threatening person, but if something's wrong, maybe talking about it would help. I'm sure that there'd be something that we could do. Maybe I could help you out. What's up?
Have a Benny for your curiosity hindrance.
I walk up behind her. I don't say anything, but I'm just there.
Okay. The more you talk, you just see his fists clenching until he smacks his arm across the table, knocks the food dish away. It clatters to the floor, the sandwich goes falling, and you hear him just like this low, angry growl in his throat. He doesn't get up, and he doesn't look at where it went. He just looks down at his fists. At this point in time, one of the servers comes over. You see this svelte little woman approaching in this white server uniform. As soon as she arrives, you can kind of smell her arriving because she seems to be wearing this really nice perfume. She's coming up. She has black hair and almost as dark are kind of the bags under her eyes. She looks very tired, but she's smiling and she's holding this little tray of these sweet looking and sweet smelling little round donuts covered in some powdered sugar very tastefully. And she arrives and, sorry, I really have to ask, you can't cause a scene or I'll have to ask you to go.
Trying to cause a scene? I think he's just having a bad day.
The man, at this point, he stands up. His eyes just glance around the entire cafe, and then he starts walking out. 13, were you looking at something?
I mean, he was looking for doors, but you said there's no doors that are marked like staff only except for the kitchen?
Yeah, which would be, and you couldn't even see that really. Like the only place you might suspect that would be further out. But you had, sorry, I
Right.
thought you were asking about
Well, I
the,
did ask about the physical description.
You have, as part of your mission intel and such, you have a number of documents, including, police report, there's medical report, there's photos that are just part of that. The photos you had were very grainy, so it was very difficult to kind of get a solid description. But part of the police report mentions that witnesses mentioned seeing someone in a nice suit, like a nice getup, which that man, by the way, was wearing, was a nice kind of blue suit jacket, nice hat. But you didn't get a clear physical description.
And we know
think we
that
should
whoever
follow
it
him.
was saw coming in here after something.
I'm sorry?
I said whoever it was coming in here for some reason, though. The person we're looking for? Or
Yes,
intel?
they
Okay.
followed, they traced someone with this unusual, like, aggressive mannerisms to a place like this, or to this location. So he starts to leave the tent. The woman, the server, she's looking at you, ESP, and since you're there as well, Mycroft, I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. I
Can 13
can clean this table quickly if you wanted to sit.
I don't believe that will be necessary, but thank you very much for the offer, and I apologize for any inconvenience that may have been caused on my coworker here's behalf. I turn to Claire. As much as it pains me to say this, I do believe you are right. We should. And he'll walk out to see what direction the man went in.
Has he completely left yet?
He hasn't. And as you guys plan to follow, give me a notice roll, the two of you.
Can 13 go up to the guy as he's walking away?
Sure.
But whatever they're doing, you can have their roll go out. I just wanted to say what he wants to do.
That was double ones.
Got an
Snake eyes. We call that a critical failure. How did you do, Mycroft?
8.
Excellent. That is a success with a raise. Mycroft, you note he starts to leave through, like, towards the back end, not inside, but like where you guys would have been coming through originally, which just kind of leads to this walkway area. And then he stops, and you see his shoulders kind of going up and coming back down as if he's taking these deep breaths, potentially trying to calm himself down. He's just kind of clenching his fist as he doesn't walk any further. ESP, once he's gone, you're much more interested by the smell of that tray that the server is holding, and very much you're focused on that instead. Just the smell is just unique, despite being a donut of some sort. It's unique. There's something special to it. Gosh, what could that be made from? Did they do something different with the dough? And your mind is now just laser focused on these beignets, which is in fact what that is. As she is clearing off the table and she puts the tray down there and fixes like the chair where the guy had stormed off. Teen, you were
Approaching the guy.
okay. He's stopped outside the tent. You also, as you get closer, see him with these just clenching his fists and taking these really unsteady breaths.
Sir, hello.
What?
Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion of your space on her behalf, I guess you can say. Here, and he's gonna pass him a sticker.
What does the sticker say?
Slay of the day. It has the, it has the slay on it.
Give me a persuasion roll at a +1.
Oh, nice. And I think I do. Yes, I do have persuasion. So with a +1, that is a 4.
Oh, fantastic.
That's made it.
That's a success still.
Whew.
Cheers to you. You hold out the sticker. He looks at it. He looks back at you, and you can see, like, his eyes had been very narrow. Like, he was ready to, you don't know what. But he slowly reaches out and takes the sticker. He'll pocket it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you live here? I'm only asking because we're kind of tourists, so we're still trying to figure out the land.
Yeah, near enough.
I see. Well, I'm sure you get a lot of tourists at this time, avoiding the snow. So, sorry if that adds to your aggravation.
Nah, it's fine. What do you want?
Oh, I just wanted some directions for any good spots that you might recommend?
I don't know. Ask someone else. And give me a notice roll. 13.
Okay.
While you're doing that, E, what are you doing in this time?
E has been looking around just to see if there's any other sorts of electronics. And I think at this point in time, she's made her way up to the cash register to see whether or not they've upgraded to the Apple Square situation. If they've got an electronic cash register, I'm assuming they don't. And if they don't, she's going to start rattling off all the reasons why they should switch to an electronic cash register and how it's more reasonable and how credit cards are becoming more common and how people don't carry cash anymore, and that's why they should switch to the electronic Square thing and how it's so much easier. And she's just going on and on talking about it. But she also has both of her headphones on and is listening to music, so she's not hearing anything that they're saying back to her.
You can have a Benny for that. Your dedication to terrible Apple products, go for it. As you maybe didn't realize, they're not like completely out of touch. It's just a historic location. But they're just nodding along as you're talking and then asking if you're going to order anything or sit down. But you don't hear them because you're still going on and you have your headphones on. They have to wave you down. Great. Did you want to order?
Do what?
Food. Did you want some food? You've got some people behind you.
Oh, no, I'm okay. That's okay. I just wanted to let you guys know because, you're living in the past, so.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
What are you, Amish?
She'll walk away from him and start looking around. She's just looking around for any electronic things that seem out of place or might pique her interest that she could go and play with.
You go look around. Give me a notice roll, and we'll get back to you in a moment. 13. You were...
I got a 5 on the notice
back.
roll.
You can see, as he seems very dismissive, like he's not trying to talk, but he keeps looking back into the cafe. Every now and then, he's just looking back and then listening to you talk, and he's just kind of giving you one-word answers to your questions.
Are you waiting for somebody at the cafe?
You say that, and his head snaps back in your direction. No, I'm here alone.
I see. And what would you recommend food-wise from here?
The beignets, they are to die for.
I'm sorry, what is that?
It's like a donut. It's just a donut with powdered sugar on top. Very good.
Right. Well, have a good Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And you see him, at this point, he seems to have calmed down significantly, but he doesn't go back inside. He is still kind of, every now and then, looking over his shoulder. E, how'd you do?
Double ones.
Yes! Yeah, you are looking around. Anything electronic, you are very quickly over this place. It's a nice and simple building with these just lovely stone arches for walls. Everything is very simple there. And the most that can kind of get your attention is also that tray of beignets at that table that is still currently open, where ESP is currently fascinated with these beignets.
Are we sponsored
But you
by
have
them
a
or
table.
something? They keep coming
They're
up.
kind of famous. They're kind of famous.
Listen,
if you're
when
at Café du Monde.
they're hot and fresh,
Dude. Have you ever had a fresh
Oh, they're
beignet?
so good.
E will start walking in that
they're
direction.
so good.
And she just gets so excited about the beignets that she doesn't notice the sandwich that's on the ground now and steps in it and slips and falls.
Yeah, you
Starting a
trip
collection.
right at the table, right next to the table where ESP is.
My goodness, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And she'll quickly get up and she'll just point to the plate of things and say, "What are those?
I think they're called bagnuts.
Can I
Oh
have
my.
one?" And E will just go ahead and start to grab one off the top.
Yeah, no, the server left them there as if to say just don't break the place. They're yours.
E will sit down at the table and just start eating them.
Okay. They're delicious, by the way. Give me a notice check.
To see if you notice how good they are.
Do you notice how actually good they are, though? It's an unusual, you've not had them before, right? And you don't know what quite the flavor is, other than it's a donut, right? But there's just something else in there. There's something extra in there. And for a moment, you're like, I didn't I didn't like that bite. Maybe it's just the first bite unusual. And then you continue to eat it. And it's like, oh, these are good. These are good. Maybe that first weird bite. ESP, what are you doing at this table now that E has joined you?
She would like to glance around now that she's sort of been snapped back to focus by E falling and see if the man is within view and or close enough for mind reading.
What's the range on your mind reading? Is it a smarts roll?
My range says smarts, and my smarts is a D10.
So the power can be cast up to 10 inches or 20 yards away. It's not that big of a cafe. The guy seems to be not far from where you are sitting.
So she will try to read his mind, and the question she's looking for an answer for is, are you the one behind the riots? Just going straight to the point.
Beautiful. So that you need to roll for at this point,
Yes.
right? Because if you don't get a raise, he knows that someone's peeking up in there.
13's still
Correct.
standing in front of him, I'm taking it at this point. Because
Are you? I thought you...
Well, I mean, it's not like they were happening
Sorry,
simultaneously.
it's kind of...
Because they
yeah,
were
it's
hopping
a little
around a
bit.
bunch, so it sounded like it would have been overlapped.
Yeah, it is a bit simultaneous.
Well, this
Yes.
could be awkward.
So-
Get a raise, otherwise he's gonna know.
He'll be like,
Well, that was
what
a
did
10
you do?
on the
What is the
D10.
sticker?
Okay.
So,
A 10 on a D10.
plus 7, that's 17.
Oh, that's right. She's still going. Okay. Excellent. You reach into his thoughts. The question was, are you the one behind the riots? And you get this sense of a voracious no. An angry no.
Not really helping your case, bud.
Well, the truthful answer
I didn't
on
do
this
it. I didn't do it. Okay.
She will pull out her phone and text that information in their group chat.
13 flips open his phone, looks at it.
His flip phone. You see ESP's message. No, he doesn't seem to be behind the riots.
At that point is when I guess he would say, "Have a good Christmas," and he walks back towards them.
All right. Mycroft, the ladies had sat down at that table. Did you join them? With the table of the beignets?
He remained standing because he was watching the guy, and he also watched, although I'm sure he couldn't hear it from this distance, but he watched at least the interaction between him and 13. And then getting the text. Claire, did you put everything in that?
Got a
the
very angry
emphasis
no
on
when
the
I...
no?
Yes, she put the emphasis on the no.
Bold.
Okay.
Read that guy's
All
mind.
caps.
Very angry no on him being behind the riots.
All right.
If he didn't know anything, then he probably wouldn't have been that angry. Or maybe he's just having a really bad day.
I could try reading his mind again and get a different question.
Or maybe we should check out where he's heading next.
I
Yeah,
need...
smart idea.
First, I need 13 Mycroft and ESP to give me notice rolls. E, I need you to give me a vigor roll at a -6, please.
Oh my.
Oh,
I
she'd be
got-
poisoned.
A 5.
7.
4 is a success.
2?
Do you want to roll another one? Do you want to use another one?
No, because first time I rolled a 2, and then I rolled a 3, and then I rolled 2 more 2s, so I'm just gonna take my luck for what it is and take the 2.
Okay. It's the 2 on the die -6, or you ended up with a with a 2 after the -6.
I think it was 2 on the die.
-6.
Yeah, that's the penalty for this vigor roll.
That's what I was saying. Using a Betty is
Yeah,
always
negative
worthless.
-4.
I mean,
That's what I
negative
mean.
4.
That's what I'm saying.
I think she'll
Sorry,
be fine.
I missed that.
On the other side,
Yeah.
if you collapse, 13 knows how to like do an exam. So-
It's true.
CPR?
So here
CPR
is what is
certified.
happening all at once. The man in the nice suit, I'll say 13, you can see him just as you're about to walk away. You see him kind of snap his head up to the sky, and he then snap his head around back towards the cafe. And then he starts running.
Can 13 trip him with his cane?
There's a cane?
Yes.
He
I
has
should
a
carry a
cane.
cane.
You should carry
I
a cane.
used I looked up and I used the baton stats and gave him into a cane.
Nice.
All right. Yes, remind me of that. Hold.
Okay.
ESP and Mycroft, you guys notice at one of the tables, everyone was kind of in the middle of their meals, etc. And you notice that there's a table where there were 2 gentlemen, if I'm remembering correctly, also wearing some a nice like a suit jacket over a nice button down and some slacks. They've got some sunglasses on, and they stand up and they begin leaving the cafe. And then you hear this angry scream from the first guy as he's now barreling into the cafe. E, you don't hear anything. Your music is on. But as you're eating the probably the second or third one, because you were just chowing down. Your hand goes to lift the next bite, and it's just kind of slack. It's not cooperating with you. And then you realize your whole back is not really supporting you, and you're feeling very dizzy, very woozy, and then you fall forward head first into the table and knocking the plate of beignets over as well. You are incapacitated.
Wait, so when you said guy number 1, are you talking about the guy that 13 was talking to started running into the tent?
Yes, the man in the blue suit versus, let's say, the two gentlemen in
So the one that
beige.
13 is tripping.
Yes, and if you're going to do that, I need a fighting roll from you, please.
So that's an 11.
Bring this
Okay.
down.
Yeah, an 11 is definitely going to catch his parry, and you manage to catch his foot, and he goes sprawling and tumbles forward, kind of catches the first chair of one of the nearest seats on this far end of the cafe, underneath the tent side of the cafe, which spooks someone. He quickly pulls himself back up, looks at you, and he screams. And what you start to see is that hear is that this scream is slowly shifting further into his throat and becoming more of a growl. His hands start to clench. He kind of rears himself back, and the jacket he's wearing starts tearing as it looks like he's growing in size. You wondered if he was bulky underneath the jacket. Well, it seems like he's now fitting this model that you could imagine. His fingers are elongating, his nails are sharpening, his whole face is starting to kind of come outwards, the nose and mouth kind of morphing together into more like a muzzle than a mouth. His teeth sharpening, his eyes yellowing as he glares down at you.
Wow.
The skin is starting to become covered with the same dark hair that was under his hat, which is now off of his head. This dark hair, almost like little bristles along all of his skin. He rears back in this muscular form, this angry dribble in his by his jaw. I need you, please, to make me a fear check. That is going to be... So fear is going to be a spirit roll.
I think I'm immune to it.
Are you?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. I started looking things up, let me tell you.
I got a 4.
Excellent. You see this, what looks like this hulking, there's no better word you can think to describe it than a werewolf. As he's looking down on, well, yeah, he's now got, at this point, like a foot on you. As he's looking down on very tall you, 13. Inside real quick, before this gets bad, ESP and Mycroft in front of you. So you guys saw those people leaving, they caught your eye, and then you hear thud as E collapses to the ground, to the tabletop.
Sweet beans. He's gonna make sure she's breathing and she's got a pulse.
You have time for one medicine check.
Is there
medicine on
medicine?
here?
Healing is a
Healing.
Yeah.
I know what game I'm playing.
Well,
That'd be
it's -2,
8.
so 8.
Wow. That's a success with a raise.
I can tell if this woman is breathing or not.
I got my hand here. That's what they taught me in med school. Yeah, there's a moment of deep concern as she suddenly falls over, but you're able to, with an overview, you're able to see, yes, she's definitely breathing. It's very shallow breathing. It's quite shallow. And with the raise, I will say you can tell this was some kind of ingested medication or something, like maybe a sleeping agent or something, but she has definitely consumed a decent amount of it. She's pretty out. And then you hear this tremendous roaring from the other direction. And you can see that as he's transforming and then hulking over 13, you see this enormous beast now that was once wearing a nice blue suit and is now wearing a tattered blue suit. I will now need you two to please also make me a fear check. As everyone around you also is noticing what's going on, they begin screaming, panic ensues, and they start tripping over each other, getting out of the cafe. E does not need to make a spirit check.
That is another Snake Eyes.
She is very afraid.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
Girl.
So, a failed fear check. How did you do, Mycroft?
5.
ESP, we're gonna have you roll on the fear table.
Oh boy.
Oh, there's a whole table?
And because,
Ooh,
It has a table?
and because
that's
I'll
never good.
happily, y'all want me to, I can show you the table too.
Oh, yeah.
While I have her roll. Because it is a critical failure as well, you're going to add +2 to this roll.
Oh, I feel
Which
like
tells you the
lower.
higher the roll,
Yeah.
not so fun. So I think that's actually gonna be at a +4 because of this particular creature's fear modifier.
That is a...
Please don't have a heart attack.
No, it's just a 15 + 4 for a minor phobia.
Ooh. Okay.
I mean, that's exciting. New hindrances. You
yeah.
gotta love it.
Minor phobia.
Ain't that
Stresses
just the
of
way?
the job.
You're not a fan of furry creatures.
Cool. Well, this is fun. She will hide behind
Yeah.
Mycroft.
She begins
Oh,
making
I
a
love
barrier of the tables.
Fortify.
Fortify.
So, yeah, ESP, you see this thing and you are shuddering with fear.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is that
Ducking
thing?
Ducking behind Mycroft. Mycroft, you can see this creature that is reared up over 13 and just looking ferocious and ravenous.
Does this count as a hostile encounter?
Yes.
Because my Maven Ed lets me make a knowledge roll to see if we can get some free bennies.
Roll away, Maven.
Awesome. So a total of 22.
-1.
-1.
Because of our furry friend.
In front of your furry
21.
friend.
Oh no.
So
for
what
each
does-
success and raise, I receive a Benny that may be used for any of the agents on the team.
Okay, so make sure you have a separate pile. So,
Yep.
so you had a grand total of 21.
Yes.
All right, that is a success with 4
It would be
raises.
5. Or yeah, 4.
4 raises.
Yeah.
So for every raise you get a Benny, or for every success with the success and the raise?
For each success and raise.
That's 5 additional bennies, I guess you guys are hanging out with.
Good, we might need them.
I think that's plenty enough for me to say we're gonna hop into a little bit of controlled chaos combat.
Now, you said that there was another table. Are they gone? Those NPC people.
They're outside. We'll put them over here. You did not notice them immediately. You were distracted by the
Yeah,
The
no, that's
werewolf.
fine. I just wanted
Cajun
to
werewolf.
know.
Now I can say it because she said it. The Rugaroo. So the two of you had seen them leave, and then this werewolf appeared, and E is on the table. We are going to, at this point in time, draw initiative cards. I'll draw them again in the order that I see them on Roll20, if that works for you guys. So I'll pull
Yep.
our Roogs first.
And do the NPCs get one, or are they just more background?
Technically, extras do, but I'm not currently counting them in combat because they are mid-exit, and it doesn't sound like you guys are focused on them when there's a giant werewolf in front of you. And poor ESP's gonna...
Valid.
She might just vomit. Poor girl. So, Arugaru
Oh,
has
good.
a
it's
6 of
6.
clubs. 13! How's a Queen of Diamonds sound to you?
I mean, that's fine.
Excellent. Mycroft, an 8. Dang. ESP,
To take the lowest.
thank you for the reminder. That'll be a 6.
Oh, it's still pretty good.
Yes, and a diamond will go before a club. Clubs are the least happy of the cards. And I will not currently draw in poor E because she's unconscious. Kassie, let me know if you get bored, and I'll turn on my DM skills to make you happy. All right. So, 13. You're up first as this hulking beast is standing over you.
All right. So he is going to, because he has a pace of 6, so he's going to move around it, but stay within its range so it can't swing at me. And then he's going to do multiple actions.
Okay, it's
First,
a -2 for the first, and second, if you throw a third one in, it increases.
Oh, okay. But he's going to do protection on everyone. So that's going to be 4 power points. And let's hope that this works.
Let's hope and pray.
So it's... Aha! I got a 6 on the 6!
There we go.
And then got 2, so that's going to be with the raise, because he's got 8 total. Oh wait, never mind, because that's going to go down. So he's got 6, but everybody has protection. So that is going to be +2 points of armor. And now he's going to pull a shotgun out of his coat, and he's going to blast the thing.
13. What do you look like that managed to hide a shotgun in there?
I mean, he just has like a long trench coat. It's got a shotgun inside.
A long trench coat, some slacks and a t-shirt, and shoes with holes.
So that's a 5 for the roll. So that's a hit based off of shooting rules.
Yes.
And
5 minus.
well,
2?
5 minus 2, but then actually he gets a +2 because he's close range. So it's actually 7.
Lovely.
And that's going to be, now that I hit it, that's 3d6.
Ooh, I need to mark my own bennies so I do not forget I have those bad boys.
Do you re-roll 6s on a d6 for this?
Yeah, yes you do.
Alright, so that's
Damage can be gruesome.
6. So that's 11,
Ooh,
16, 20 damage.
Dang,
shotties,
boy.
baby. Shotties. Okay. All right, Roog. So you said 20 damage?
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is spend a Benny, and we're gonna do what's called a soak roll, because he is a wild card. He is not an extra. So we're gonna take 2 wounds off of that, and it's going to, so instead of literally about to be knocking him out, he's going to be shaken with 1 wound left over.
So what's the penalty for doing a third action?
If you were going to do a third action, I'd need to know, because that would have been a -4 for.
Oh, it's for everything. I thought it was like tiered.
Right, it's cumulative. Like
Oh,
if
okay.
I know in advance, I'm
Alright,
gonna
no,
do
that's
multiple
fine.
things. Yeah.
I thought it was like the first 2, it's -2, and then beyond that, it's like minus this, is what I thought it sounded like. All right.
Nope. It's go big or go home kind of thing.
All right, that's fine. 13's got 0
I'm actually gonna
pennies
spend 1 more Benny, and we're gonna remove that shaken status.
now. Phew.
So he's still hanging out with 1 wound though, which sucks because it's -1 to everything you do. All right, who's next? Mycroft with the 8.
Mycroft is going to draw his own pistol that he has recently purchased after the last mission. He is not going to use it yet, however, until it actually attacks someone, because self-defense only. And he's going to crouch down behind a table and just pull ESP down with him
I imagine this is
so
not
that we're both
opposed.
hidden.
Okay.
I
both know
assume
we're
she's
here.
willing.
He's just like
I
laying
mean-
in the chair asleep on the table still.
The music is still going.
You mean hidden in terms of cover, not hidden as in he won't see us even though it's broad daylight and we did this right in front of him.
Okay, are you doing anything else, Mycroft?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do.
So you can hold an action. Holding your action means you keep your initiative card until you are ready to act, and you are able to act when you need to. You won't be dealt back in to the next roll. You'll act when you choose to interrupt. But when you choose to interrupt, it'll be just an opposed, like athletics roll or something in order to act first. So you can choose to hold it if you wanted to.
Okay, then in addition to that, he will hold taking a shot at the werewolf.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Or
allow
when
crouching.
the werewolf attacks someone else.
So keep this in mind too. When you are holding, the character on hold, when your round begins, she's not dealt a new action card, but you can go at any point and that's when you'll make the opposed athletics roll. But if you are shaken or stunned, you will lose your hold. ESP, what you got?
She's going to try and read E's thoughts, see if there's any brain activity going on over there, or if she's just like out.
I mean, she's alive. There's still brain activity.
Hey,
And is she out, or is she like just kind of zoned?
is she like dreaming? Is she
She's dreaming about the last Christmas song that was playing.
Yeah, I'm just picturing on her headphones. It's just have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
That's generous. I'll tell you what I think she's listening to. What just happened to show up on her playlist? Let's see first how the roll goes.
that is a 4, so that's no. I'm gonna use it and reroll that. There's a -1. We're gonna use one more. So that's
Okay.
12. So a success and who raises?
Is your question is, are you awake?
Her question is, what are you thinking about? What are you listening to? We'll go with that.
E, so you are, from all outside perspectives, you are out like a light. But there is a vague, you had like a -4 on your roll. I think otherwise it would have been different, but no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're out like a light. She's not thinking much of anything in there, except the subconscious sounds of, I don't want a lot for Christmas.
Well, that's good. You might
As
not get
Mariah
it,
Carey
Christmas.
starts playing.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Who knows?
That
You
get on
might
my
not
list.
make it to Christmas at this rate.
How'd that get on my list?
That's
But
really why
she
this
is,
guy's pissed off. He heard that song too much.
But she's not dead. She's just
Yeah.
she's asleep. So she's not hurting either. She is just passed out. Could be potentially woken up. Like with the raises, she could be woken up. She's just out.
Cool. And then if she can, Claire will tug on Mycroft's jacket and whisper, I think we can wake her up. She needs help.
Well, why don't you try to do that while I give you cover?
Look at us working together for once.
I am delighted to find you're capable of it.
So then Claire will move over 1 square to be closer to E. So next turn she can try to wake her.
Perfect. And I feel like this is a good time for playing with the support. Mycroft, I'll say the way that you speak to her, I will allow you to make a persuasion roll to give her a boost so that maybe we can knock off that -1 she's dealing with. It is a free action.
No.
No? Not so much?
That is a
Okay.
critical fail.
Oh my gosh. Mycroft
Okay.
gives
They're
her a
going
-1 on top of it. The support ain't coming. It's not coming.
Let me just get in your way real quick.
He trips her as she's
Wake
going.
me up and she's just gonna start snoring.
Yeah, it's a -2.
Yeah.
So I have a
you're gonna have
-2 when I
-3
try to wake
now.
her up. Yeah.
Oh no.
Great.
Sorry.
Sleeping
That's
Beauty's
just-
not waking up.
Happens. All right, guys. So, that's Claire.
Doing her
That's
best.
ESP.
One last reminder is that everyone does have +1 to their spirit rolls when attempting to recover from Shaken and Vigor. Or
That's true.
+1 to their, yeah.
Awesome.
Just
I think-
automatically.
Mhm. Because you're within 30 feet of me, 10 yards of me.
Oh.
All right. I think that makes it the turn of the Rougarou, who is super ticked off about getting shot by a shotgun. So he is going to, first things first, smarts roll.
A what roll?
That's decent. Smarts roll.
Has intelligence.
Big brain wolf.
Nope.
Oh, it doesn't have
Excellent.
Never mind.
intelligence. Haha.
No, I mean, it's the die is okay. He just didn't roll well. And then he is going to lash out at 13.
Not the table.
He's going to roll? No, not the table. Not yet the table. Almost the table. Where's his? Ooh, that's a good one. Hey. I like to see 12s on a 12.
I don't like to
Oh.
see 12s and a 12 for that.
I don't like a 12.
So as he slashes out at you, 13, that's going to be a 15 to your parry.
That just hits.
Just hit. Excellent. Wonderful. All right, so that's going to be, well, yeah, it's 4 damage.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Trying to go for your toughness.
Toughness with
That
the
hurts my
armor
heart
is
a
an
little.
8.
That hurts my heart a little. As he attempted to attack in his rage, and it didn't work out well for him. That's gonna end his turn. And unless Mycroft has something to do,
Well, Mycroft, I think, was shooting if he attacked somebody.
Correct. That was.
oh,
the
if he
trigger.
attacks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was if he attacks
yeah,
a
then,
person. Or attacks.
Yeah, then go for it.
Yeah. If he
Yeah.
attacked a person, he's going
Yeah,
to.
just from underneath the
that's,
table.
Not the
Mycroft's
table.
flying there, just shooting underneath.
I picture him like as Claire went over to E, he like kind of backed into her and pushed her like against the other table, and that was the critical fail. And now he's going to take his shot
it.
against the werewolf. So
He
that's
didn't
just
mean to, but he nudged her head into the table over there.
Bam.
Some help you are.
terribly sorry, and he's gonna. So that's just the fighting die. That's a 1 on the D4, but a 4 on the D6. We do get the D6 right with
Yeah.
these.
Yes.
Okay, so that's still a 4 then on the D6.
And a 4 is success for a shooting roll.
Haha.
Double 4s.
So 8 total damage. Yeah, 8 will just hit his toughness, which will cause him to be properly shaken again. So now he's shaken with a wound, which is uncomfortable.
Mycroft is freaking out a little bit in his head because it's the first time he shot something that's alive before.
It's just a good thing
He's
you
only
hit.
ever done target shooting.
That was a good shot for that. Take a Benny for that.
I definitely thought you were going to end up
Character.
shooting 13 your first shot at a living target.
I was worried too.
Shooting into melee. We love it. All right. That was your action. That was used this round. Fantastic. And we're going to roll out new cards for the Rogue. Ooh, clubs. Why all the clubs? A 9 of clubs for 13.
A 4 doesn't work. It has to be 6
That's
or
what I
above.
thought. 6 or above or 5?
6.
Beady boy.
There's your 8.
Oh no. Rugu. Ragu's going before.
Ragu's going first.
Ragu.
Mycroft with a 7.
Out the ragu.
Just Bosch
ESP
jumps out
gets
of
the
nowhere.
lowest.
Ragu is here.
Still not bad. All right. And that means, ESP, you're going first with
Oh,
your 9 of
good.
diamonds.
Cool.
Are you gonna
I
wake
would
her
like-
up or not?
I would like to try and wake up B.
How are you
What your
doing
problem
this?
is over there.
She's going to put a hand on her back and try to gently shake her awake while probably pulling off her headphones and yelling in her ear as well.
Okay.
Touch her
Um,
headphones and she wakes instantly. Hey!
Headphones.
Hands off
You
the
know what I was
music.
listening to? Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check. And I think with the good thinking of removing the headphones, that has been jarring to her in the past. I will give you a +1 to this roll.
So it's
So it's
only
just a
minus 2.
Oh, it's only a -2.
Yay.
Correct.
Okay. We're gonna use a Benny.
Wait, can't you just
You-
use a Benny for the plot thing that Bren was talking about? Wasn't there a Benny plot?
Yeah, influence the
Benny plot
story.
thing?
yeah, a Benny story.
I mean, yeah, if that's how you want to do it, you can. But I would like a little bit more to your story then.
Cool. And we'll try it. Why not? So ESP sort of crawls over, jostled by Mycroft, and sneaks up by E. She is shaking from fear because she knows the big werewolf thing is behind her. And she really just wants to go back and hide behind Mycroft again because he will keep her safe. But she is trying to get past that as much as she can to reach up, sort of pulls herself up on the table because she's shaking so hard. Her knees are like knocking together though she's kneeling. And she is just reaching up, grabbing E's shoulder, very worried for her new friend that she hasn't even got to give a Christmas present to yet. And she is shaking her shoulder, reaching up to rip the headphones off with her other hand, almost falling backwards because she's just jittery and trembling. She's like, "Wait! I know you're in there. This can't be how you go down."
All right. And E, the moment the headphones come off, there is some deep internal, just like a rage and a confusion and who touched my music, but your body is still
Disturbs my
groggy.
slumber.
When they come off, right, so your eyes like flutter open. In your mind, it's a shocking awakening, but your body is still really sluggish. But you do start to come to, and you see Claire. First, it's that kind of like whining sound of like you're not focused on the world until it becomes a garble, and then you hear her words as she's like shaking you awake.
She probably has a few tears coming down her face.
Aww. So you'll come back to, and we'll throw you into the initiative at the end of this round. And it will be, if it lasts that long, the distracted status. Distracted means the hero subtracts 2 from all trait rolls until the end of his next turn.
Okay.
You're awake.
He's gonna like look around and be like, what's going on?
As soon as E shows any sign of consciousness, she's getting a hug.
Oh.
She'll kind of like, that'll kind of like jar her, but then she'll hug Claire back and kind of like keep looking around, just like really confused until I'm guessing she sees the large werewolf over behind her to the side, and then she'll kind of be like, what's happening? What is that? What's happening?
So the hug feels
Everything.
normal to you, E, and Claire, ESP, what you're feeling is like this like floppy, like little, like kind of slapping your arm of like her arms are not fully functioning just yet. And I will hold up on the fear check until you are in the initiative order, as you're still coming to. But that means, unless there's anything else ESP needs to do,
Nope.
then it's time for the Rougarou. He's displeased, and instead of trying to slash at you, 13, he's going to try and remove you as being a problem. He's going to attempt to throw you aside.
That sounds much
So this
worse.
is going to be
Oh, snap.
this is going to be an opposed athletics roll.
Don't forget, we got a pile of bennies to use.
Yes, and he is doing
a thing. Okay, yes.
it is
it
a
thing.
skill.
Okay,
Mhm.
I have it.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of it, but I do have it.
Yes, and he is still at a penalty because he is wounded. So he's going to attempt it though. Thanks.
13. Perfect.
Yeah, 13's a lot better than him. So he like grabs hold of you and he starts to like lift you up to try and move you out of the way, and you just stand your ground and stand firm against his maneuvering, and he's unable to move you. And so instead, and this will warrant a free attack, he's going to just start barreling past you.
Okay, so it's just go
Over to
for
the first
shooting
person.
like normal.
Ah.
Oh.
You're shooting past him?
Huh?
You're shooting at him as he goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it's the shooting roll. So that's gonna be a 9.
9 is a success with a raise. A
Alright.
raise for damage means adding a d6
Oh, fun.
to the damage.
4d6.
Gosh, I forgot it was a shotgun.
I mean,
Get him.
Dang it, Roog! Dang it!
Save us all.
that's 12 damage.
He was built for this. He was built for times such as these.
In these trying
Um,
times.
For such a time as this.
For such a time as this. 12, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. We can do this. We're okay. He's not looking good. You blasted right into him. There is some blood and some spatter on the chairs around, but he looks unperturbed as he started his move. He was here. He's looking for some easy prey.
He found
4,
us.
5, 6.
Oh, dang it.
Ah!
Oh, great.
I was gonna move.
I love the yell
13
every
there.
time.
Stop moving.
Never.
Oh boy.
But he doesn't have another action. Next up would be, oh gosh, dang it, it's 13 again.
Now, so question.
Answer.
Can 13 kind of like nudge Pierre over?
There
Which
is a
kind of, like-
touch attack, which is really like a friendly thing, so you get
So-
plus to it. What are you trying to do?
Like that would be an action to move him? Just
Yes.
Okay. Now
If he doesn't realize it's coming,
that
you're just
wouldn't
like, hey,
provoke this thing being able to attack, right? Because he's not trying to push him so that
no.
way that he
Correct. No, it was
attacks
against his
Pierre.
own will. It wasn't him trying to escape. So the +2 you would get for this touch attack will negate the -2 of multi-action if you're doing multiple actions, I imagine.
Yeah, so he's gonna do multiple actions. So
Okay, how many?
I mean, I probably won't do this, but just if I were to
Hypothetical.
hypothetically do 4 things, which is mainly just pushing everybody back and then shooting at the thing, is
Are you like doing a dance around him and just like shoving people?
well. So the idea would be
Are
to
you a whirlwind?
push him back, coming through this, and then also like push those 2 with both of his hands back.
You're like charging
and end up
on
right
him.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3 right there, and then you want to turn around and blast him.
Yeah.
So for all of these touch attacks, so to speak, it's +2. So that'll negate 2 from
Yeah,
those
so
3
it'll be
actions.
-2 for each.
For those 3, correct.
Okay, so for those 3.
A
And
shotgun is not a touch attack.
Yeah, but the shotgun's already gonna get a +2. So
Ay.
okay, so is this using my fighting?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's D8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool.
Alright, so Pierre first. Well, this might not work. So Pierre is not gonna budge. Unless
And
can I
before
use
you
a
get to
Benny?
the Roog, yes, absolutely. And before you get
Well,
to the
I was
Roog,
mainly
you're
asking
gonna...
ESP if I could use one of the
They're
party.
there to use.
Okay, cool.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's
What
your
did-
goal.
What did you roll?
I
His
got-
parry is not high.
So he got a
No.
5 is the highest, and then
It's higher
+2
than that.
-4. So I think your parry's a 4 though, isn't it?
My parry's a 4.
Yeah, so I got a 3.
And the Roog is using his Benny to take the shaken off. I'm
dang it.
calling it now.
Oh my gosh.
You
All
want
right.
to multi-action.
So that time it was double 2s. All right, so Pierre, you're just gonna have to hold out for a bit, and he's gonna now try to push ESP back to like right here. Let's see. Aha! That's a 6 on the D6, and then another 6, and then a 5. So she definitely moves back.
So wait, where am I moving?
Move
like-
back
He's a
to like right
small
here,
person.
and then
He just
he's
goes
gonna-
under the table and hides under there at the shove.
And he's
Love
gonna
it.
do the same thing, try and like push E probably back to there. Wait, what is your parry? E?
4.
Okay. I got double 5s. Dang it.
Do you want a Benny?
Yeah, sure. I'll do-
multi-action is it's a high risk,
Is
high
her
reward.
parry really 4 right now, though, if she's a limp noodle?
Make it easier
That's
and
fair.
harder at the same time.
The
You
sa-
woke her up. She's no longer
He
a
just
totally limp
Tips
noodle.
the chair over and I fall out.
He didn't say he was attacking the chair. He said he was going for you. But that's something to consider in the future.
Come on. Uh-oh. Well, I got an 8 on the D8.
Someone's
Another
going under a
8 on the
table.
D8. This is another 8 on the D8.
Jeez.
What is this garbage?
And then a 4.
You have been moved.
You have been thrown across the room. E just goes flying.
That was for E?
Yeah.
Okay.
E has been removed from combat. She's
Okay.
safe at home now.
She's the only one who made it home from the mission. Oh my gosh. Okay. How much was that? What?
It was 3 8s and then a 4.
28
28.
minus 2.
Yeah, so it was 26.
24.
Where do you want E to be very specifically? Like, she can
Oh,
be
if I
literally
can-
anywhere you want
if
her
I
to be,
could
and
choose-
she's like snap awake.
If
no
I could choose
distracting.
her own adventure, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna,
moved her, you
I'm
choose.
gonna say she's able to get like all the way back. She's on a rolling chair and she just slides.
Done. Done. It's not even rolling. It's a nice smooth surface. You
Oh,
go
okay.
past, and you just like, with your brute strength, you just kind of like bump the seat of the chair, and she just slides, and then it kind of like bumps up against the wall. So now she's face forward, not distracted at all, just sitting and looking ahead at everything happening now. Full
Yeah, he
view.
was just very frustrated on not being able to move Pierre. He just took it all out on me.
Get in here.
Just
And
move.
once you've confirmed that she is good to go, you wrap around. There is still a werewolf in front of you.
And he's shooting it.
At a -2
Yeah, it'll be a -2 because he gets a +2.
after all of the fun penalties.
Yeah. So that's gonna be 15, a -2, so 13.
13 to hit his parry.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
now I'm blasting.
So sorry,
So
Roog.
13 damage.
I'm so sorry, Roog. I tried. 13 damage. You know what? We're gonna use this final Benny. We're gonna see what a soak looks like. That's gonna be his vigor, D10. That's the wrong die. This is a D10. That's a D12, and his wild die.
This is what it gets for trying to run away from him.
Hey.
Yeah, he is unsuccessful because even a 5 on the D6 is still -3. So he's going to take that last wound. You let off the shotgun blast, and the impact of being so close sends him flying backwards, landing on the ground in an unpleasant heap. And he does not move further from that.
Oh, I pushed everyone for nothing.
He was doing pretty bad when you got there, but it was
entertaining
sick.
though.
Yeah.
It was sick. She's not distracted. That's for sure.
Someone want to tell me what just happened?
Oh my gosh.
Suit
my gosh,
man
it's so
turned
good.
into a furry man.
Pierre goes over to Claire and is gonna help her up off the floor, out from under the table.
She avoids looking in the direction of the room, like blocking her field of vision from it.
13 is gonna go and medically inspect the
Rugaru.
the werewolf.
The werewolf. That's
He
what I was
will
telling you.
walk over with him and look on his person to see if he's got a phone or something.
On the werewolf? Okay, so
In the remnants of his suit.
E.
Is this
I'm gonna
werewolf
have
an
you-
android or an Apple guy?
Does he have the fried your friends up?
E, I'm gonna have you give me the fear check, but you'll do it at a +4 because the thing is dead. If you don't succeed with a +4, I don't know what to tell you.
Double
Yeah,
ones.
that's a total 9.
Okay, yeah, you are able to walk over to it. This very unusual, very disturbing, half man, half bestial creature. So then I'll have both E and 13 please give me.
Notice.
It is a notice, yes.
Well, 13 was specifically looking at it from a medical point of view with his
Then a healing. Yes,
Alright.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, he's doing an examination.
He knows what he's good at.
7.
Oh my gosh. Double twos. Not happening.
While he's figuring his life out,
Yeah.
he's
he
so
failed.
disappointed. He's just so disappointed about the missed
I
opportunity.
mean, how many
with the
times do you
chairs.
get to dissect the Rikaru?
You know, that's fair. So you don't know what this thing is and what's happening here. It generally looks like when you kind of see the shotgun wound and where the flesh is pretty visible and bloodied, it looks pretty standard human, if just like maybe longer in some places than others, but otherwise it kind of looks like you shot a hairy person. But you definitely get like there's a weirdness about it anyway, because it's, you know, a hairy person. Well, a person covered in fur. E, so you don't find a phone, you don't find electronics, you don't find anything quite like that. You find in the coat pocket that just managed to avoid being blown to smithereens or torn up, you find a small picture in there. It's like a little folded picture. And you see 4 people in this picture. One is very much the man that you had seen prior to falling asleep. He's kind of got this darker skin, well, more tan skin beneath this a nice hat, another suit. Standing next to him is a lovely woman in this nice dress, kind of just touches the grass at their feet, and she's barefoot. And you see these 2 children, a boy and a girl. You can imagine a son and a daughter standing beside them. They look like they're posing for this picture out in wilderness. It's relatively dark. Kind of see the sunset right behind them through some trees that are kind of willowy. You see that they seem to be on the edge of some water, like a riverbank, perhaps. You find the similar newspaper clippings and information that you had received in your own reports about the 2 locations where these riots took place, these 2 malls. You find like very similar information there. Words are circled in there, like the news report mentioned a beast. That word is circled in there. The reports mentioned a confiscated note from a suspect. These reports that you guys didn't look at in-game. Shame on you. But these things are circled, just like news reports, things like that. So it's pretty bland, but he seems to have found some of that information very interesting.
Wait, I thought 13 did go through the report when he was looking for the description of the man.
You know, probably. Here, let's just give it to you all, just plain and simple. I'll just give you all the information now that you've had a moment to actually stop and breathe and consider it. So,
When did we receive this information?
at the beginning. All the intel is
So
included.
we had it during the flight then, because that's when Mycroft would have read it.
Yeah,
Is
that's
on
why I
the
figured
flight over
everyone,
here.
because everyone got it, the
Yeah,
stuff on the
totally.
flight last time. It just wasn't covered on
We
the
just
flight
didn't
when
have
we
a
were
flight
playing.
this time. That's fair. I mean, the information is there, but
I don't think we got the mission. It was just like, well, we don't need to look at that, and then walked off.
let's just show up and find
No.
out. No, I mean, it's not like it didn't make sense. Like he fits the bill for what you saw. So, for example, one police report says on Sunday, December 3rd at 12:24, gunshots were reported at the shops at Canal Place in New Orleans, Louisiana. Local authorities responded and apprehended a suspect who reported suffering minor injuries in the commotion. Other reports on casualties included blood loss, broken limbs, stab wounds, and deep lacerations. The suspect claimed his actions were coerced by, quote-unquote, a beast. Authorities also confiscated a note from the suspect, who claimed he could not explain the contents. The second police report. On Sunday, December 10th, gunshots were reported at Oakwood Center Mall at 12:24. Cause of injuries and casualties included stab wounds, internal bleeding, deep lacerations. No suspect was found. Reports of suspicious persons mentioned 2 suited men as potential gunmen. Video captured a suspicious figure fleeing the scene. There's a medical report in there. It has just some pretty basic information about some of the casualties. One of the images is the image of an arm of a Caucasian male. This kind of really deep wound going through the bicep, which all of this still seems to match up. There's a lot of blood on the skin. There's a second image, appears to be the lower back of an African-American male. He has a deep wound going along the spine. And I'll allow a healing roll here as well, just for if you want to kind of get deeper insight on that. Something you may not have noticed really even as you were going on the plane.
Right, 4.
Is that's untrained, so it's what happens with that?
It's a D4 -2.
Well, that's a 4 on the
So
D4.
5.
5, a 4.
7.
Okay, all successes. Yeah, now that you have something kind of to compare it to, it seems to track that this deep wound that you see in the back and in the bicep, it is like a jagged, like unclean kind of cut, as if it were more like an animal's claw than it was anything else, like a knife or something like that. It's a very unclean, kind of unprecise cut. There were some short videos that were taken from like offline, even as part of the general looking around. They have videos that people took with their phones of the chaos at the malls, people running, screaming, people using the opportunity to snatch things from the stores. And in each of the videos, in the first one, right along the edge, and this was the kind of aggressive movement that you were told about, right along the edge of the video, you see a person is kind of like shoved to the ground, but it looks more like a pounce by someone large. And in the second video, you see, as the video is being taken, a large arm hand that's very dark seems to grab at the phone or swipe at the person who's taking the video. And then there's still images as well that seem to show what that was talking about. And then the last thing you find, which you didn't find in your reports, on him, you find like kind of like a note. It seems to be like the man who's now on the ground here. This man's kind of plan of action. It's like, find the witch, is what you see on this note. Find the witch, and you see Bayou. Everyone give me a free notice check.
Am I still at a -1 because the thing is there?
No, it's dead and it can't hurt you.
I got a crit 1.
Poof.
That's all of us.
Is that really everyone now?
Well done it.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It was meant to be.
it went around the table.
Perfect.
That's a 7 for Mycroft.
7 for ESP.
Is E rolling the notice? No problem.
2.
2, beautiful. 13 is heavily distracted by this corpse of a previous man-beast. And E is kind of slowly still coming back to just like, what the heck just happened here? We shared this information that what we found. You guys were all looking at the creature?
Yes, E
Yeah.
would share what she found.
Okay.
And she
13
would
didn't find
also-
anything.
She would also say, is this the beast that we're supposed to be finding? or it kind of seems like this guy was trying to investigate what was happening, and she would specifically point out the find the witch on the note, and that it's in the bayou.
Most intriguing.
For those successful notice rolls, you two note back at the table where you had been, somehow getting through all of the chaos of that situation. You guys find what appears to be another note that had fallen out of someone's pocket, maybe. The note reads, "I know when you reapin', I know what you sow. Your deeds have been counted. You've been naughty, I know." And it's written in this dark red kind of dripping ink. You also note that you are not far from the riverside, and that feels like a place to be if the word bayou came up.
Wait, are we still in the cafe, or did you say we're out of it?
Well, the cafe, you're in that area, but like the cafe is open air. It's literally like an open air cafe. There's the only walls are like these arches.
13's looking around for the waitress that we had that was around.
Everyone has scattered. In fact, you're probably gonna see police here soon.
13's gonna run off to like the kitchen area and see if anyone held up in there. Particularly, he's trying to find the server person, because the server is the one that put the plate of whatever it was in front of E. He wants to see what happened. Yeah, beignets.
The beignets. Not bennies, but beignets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of bees going on.
Following him to look for a to-go box.
Wait, are you walking around with it?
No, she wants to go find well, I guess I could have just grabbed the plate and brought it with me, but her plan was to go and get a to-go box and then come back and put a couple of the beignets in the to-go box.
Both of you give me a notice roll.
I got a 4.
I also got a 4.
You make your way back towards the kitchen area. No one really is there to stop you because this place is abandoned. You easily find some to-go boxes where they would be sending out, parties who are on their way out. 13, you think that this place is just completely empty. Nobody is responding to the sounds of your footsteps or anything else until you spot just this little foot peeking out from a corner, like from a body wedging between like the wall and like the space between maybe one of the cabinets or pantries or something. Just this pale foot, and the other foot has this little white shoe on it, this white flat, trying to hide back there.
It's gonna go over and it's gonna just kind of look underneath where they are.
Yeah, it's like between, and you see the black-haired server, and the moment she sees you, she just like instantly just covers her face and her head.
Hello. Well, the thing's dead. You can get out. I have a question for you.
I didn't do anything.
Okay. So the question is, who made those pastries?
The chef's like normal.
Okay, nobody tampered with them? Oh, where's your chefs?
While she's looking around, give me a persuasion roll.
All right, that's a 4.
She's looking about and just shaking. I guess everyone's gone, but they're not the ones who told me to make sure any weird newcomers got a plate. I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
So who did?
It was these 2 guys. They were in these suits, these like nice business suits, and they were threatening me, and they gave me this note, and she kind of, she's still kind of wedged in there, and so she can't really pat around much, but she just kind of like tap her apron and realized that there's nothing there anymore. She's like, well, there was a note, I promise. It was really threatening, and they know, just, I didn't really do anything bad, but they seem to just know things.
What did they know?
I mean, that's not important, right? I didn't hurt anybody. It's just, look, I really need to do well in school, or I will die. I need to do well, or I'll just die. I didn't mean to cheat. I needed to pass. I needed to get the best grade.
Okay. Is she on the ground?
Yes.
All right, he's gonna reach out to help her up.
She is frightened.
Okay, then he's gonna grab her, link together hands, and pull her up.
Oh my goodness. Sure, give me an athletics roll. You can have a +1 to it. She's a frail little thing.
4, a 4.
Sweep her off her feet.
All right, 10.
There you go. Yeah, that'll be a success and a raise. Yeah, you literally pull her up. It doesn't hurt her. She's just on her feet, unwedged, and like you are now steadying her, and she's standing there shaking like a leaf. Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
Here, why don't we go out, and you can calm down. And he's gonna start bringing her towards the direction of everyone else, and while walking her, he's gonna text to ESP that there is something that the person did that she's being blackmailed for, and if she can jump into her mind and see what that is.
Now you want her to invade people's privacy.
Just leading forward.
It's like, yes, please.
All right, so ESP will look at the text and look over as they start coming out, and she will attempt to read her mind and see why she was being blackmailed.
While that's happening, Mycroft gets a glass of water and puts it in front of her and helps her into a chair.
Excellent. And
That
she'll
is
take
a
it.
6. So she is going to be aware of the fact that someone's reading her mind.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
What
wow.
Mycroft sees is her starting to take the water and then like coughs and starts spitting the water back up.
It still works. She just knows that her mind is being.
Uh-huh. That's an outside view. What ESP
there.
hears or sees, you see she is a college student who has been staying up and has had a lot of trouble sleeping and has been taking very controlled doses of Klonopin to make sure she like sleeps just as much as she needs to and then can get back up and start like working. She has been sabotaging classmates to make sure that she has been getting top marks in her classes to become like she wants to graduate, you know, like summa cum laude. Personal reason she wants to do it.
Well, you know, if you want to do that well in school, you can just ask for a tutor.
She just stares at you, sits back in the chair. The glass is just shaking in her hands.
How'd you get those pills you were taking? Or whatever it was you were doing.
What? How? She kind of looks back at you, Mycroft, because you were the between Mycroft and 13, the ones who didn't freak her out. Well, 13 kind of freaked her out a little. She looks at you, Mycroft.
It's all right. She's a little invasive at times. You learn to live with it. Listen, what's your name, dear? My name is Perry.
Liza.
Liza, we don't want you to get in trouble. We're not here to try to make that happen. We just need some information. We just want to make sure that people aren't getting hurt. And as you can see, and he just kind of gestures to the chaos that the room is now in. As you can see, people have gotten hurt, and we want to make sure that you are not added to that list. So if you could do your best to be cooperative, we would greatly appreciate anything you can tell us.
Give me a persuasion roll.
13's gonna go to sit down, and the chair's gonna break under him. So then he's just gonna
Have a
stay on the
Benny.
floor.
Benny.
I'll just be down here.
I'll just be here. This is where I live now. How'd we do?
That is a 10 persuasion.
That is a success and a raise. She looks at you and like her eyes are starting to just brim with tears. The
Got a
two
handkerchief.
she'll dab her eyes. The two men who were in here, I guess they left in all the commotion, but they'd been here all day, and I didn't know why, but they told me, well, they gave me that note. I don't know where it is now. I must have dropped it. And it was like a threat, and they seemed to know just terrible things I'd ever done, and I don't know how they know. I've never met them before, but they said I had to look out for anyone who looked out of place, strange, and you four kind of fit that bill pretty well. Well, she looks at E, who's not paying attention, and Claire in her very wonderful flamboyant attire. And just the way that you started the whole fight with the guy who was there, I just assumed it was you, and they said I should use my sleep aids to slow you down. I guess they were planning to leave somewhere. I think I overheard them say something about a swamp, or needing someone, or doing something for someone. Something. But that's all I really know.
After E saw the note about the swamp and the bayou and the witch, she's gonna start looking at satellite images of the surrounding bayou area for any points of interest. I'm not sure if she's heard anything or noticed the two men, but I also had a thought that she would look through the footage from the previous riots just to see if she saw a pair of men in any of the videos that stuck out to her.
You're gonna go back through the videos that you have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We might search the internet for any more that they don't already have.
Sure.
Maybe some of today too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give me an electronics. Or I can't remember if you're the one who has tech ops. One of you guys has tech ops.
I have
Okay.
tech
I
ops.
do. She might
You
too.
have tech ops and electronics? Or tech ops? Do you have hacking?
I got all of those. I have electronics, I have hacking, I have tech ops. I also have research.
Give me a tech ops roll to kind of look deeper on the net than just standard, what people kind of throw on social media. Tech ops will be a little bit deeper than
Ooh,
that.
that's a 10 and 14.
You find the standard videos that went around, things go viral for a minute and then they go on as the internet sees fit. But you do find a series of videos. Most of them tend to be between 10 and 35 seconds long. One of them does catch your attention. That's a success with a number of raises. And you actually are able to catch what appears to be the beginning of one of these riots. Someone caught the moment. You see a video of these two girls who are maybe they're starting a TikTok video or something. And behind them in the mall, you see two suited men who look at each other for a moment, pull out guns, and start firing into the air. And then it's chaos. And that seems to be the start of these rioting videos. You do find another video that catches at least one of these men attacking people who are in the mall, but it does not match up the way it seems to with the guy who is pouncing. They're not quite bulky enough to be the guy who's pouncing. And then one other video you find, do one per raise, if I counted that right. One other video you find does catch a moment. It seems very close to the one of the guy who had his phone out and then the arm swiped. You get another perspective of this. It's in a food court. You get another perspective of it. Right by a stand in the mall, in the food court, that's kind of a pop-up one for Christmas. You see someone or something. It's too quick and it's too dark to really catch it clearly. But it leaps out from behind the stand and pounces on somebody. But it doesn't quite have the same look as the creature you guys just fought. It's a little bigger. It's a little less kind of put together in this video.
Okay, E will take a couple screenshots of each of the videos, that whatever makes sense, and send it in the group chat. And then she's also looking at those satellite images for any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, New Orleans is along the Mississippi, and the Mississippi leads to numerous swamps going down numerous bayous that are attached to different canals going off the river. I will say that there are some that might be a little more direct. Give me another tech ops roll.
5.
While they are maybe comforting this girl and you're doing your research, you're starting to kind of cross-scan different areas, and one of these canals does seem to stand out. It's one of these swamps, maybe. There is a location that seems to have some odd activity. It's reading a little funny on satellites. It's just south. Well, it's the entrance to that particular bayou, the bayou being the waterway leading in. It's just north of this one swampy area called the Big Mar, but it gives you like a destination.
She'll send the destination to the group chat as well, and then she's gonna start playing Tetris on her phone.
ESP would like to try and once again read the server's mind to learn exactly what she overheard. Like try and see if she can pull that out of the server's mind to see if there's more that maybe her fear and her disorientation with the whole event is preventing her from remembering as she's speaking, but she might have it in her brain.
Okay.
All right, that's an 8 on the D8. So yeah, it's an 11 total.
Thank you.
Oh. Yeah, you start reaching into her mind deeper. You can hear these two gruff voices talking to one another. You hear them talk about waiting on Oblivion to get here. You hear them talking about the exit strategies by the car. They've got a car exit. You hear discussing the river exit just in case. They have like a full plan ready to go. These goons seem to be ready for action. You hear them talking about like, despite all that though, we'll just wait it out and see, because if this, if the dumb server just does her job right, then these guys won't even be a problem to begin with. Just keep an eye out and they'll be out like a light. They spoke about, again, they almost seemed fearful to say what it was, but they knew that if they at least either kill who's coming or get whoever's coming killed, then it will be satisfied. And in a seemingly half-joking way, at least as it's interpreted in her mind, it sounds like they said something like, we won't be put on the naughty list this year.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Liza. You were very helpful, and I'm very sorry for anything we put you through and everything you experienced. I hope they were able to get some counseling and maybe some therapy to help you work through that, maybe also help you with your grade situation. But thank you, and I really do think we need to be going, so good day, and the rest of us, I think we should go.
Yes.
And
As you start to hear police sirens.
And ESP is also texting rapidly everything that she learned.
13's gonna give her a sticker as he leaves.
What does it say?
This one says "Rebel without a clause," and it's got like a emo Santa Claus on it with like...
You can have a penny for that.
Thank you for your time, Miss Liza. Perhaps you should take the rest of the day off. Go home. Don't think about your schoolwork. It'll still be there tomorrow. Go home, maybe take a nap without sleep meds. And he's gonna take $20 and put it down in the table in front of her for the beignets and a tip.
The poison beignets.
Yeah.
She'll, with very shaky hands, take the bill.
Did E package those? So I remember you grabbed it.
She took 2.
Did anybody?
Got 2 more of them.
All right.
You never know. Might come in handy.
You never know. You guys.
ESP is like shepherding them out because this is not where they need to be any longer.
As the police are.
Don't shove. You're too small to do that.
I'm trying my best. They were waiting for Oblivion to get here, so we need to go find them and take them out before they take us out.
They're at the bayou? Is that where everything's leading?
Well, isn't that what E sent us?
Yeah. That's just what he's saying out loud.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's not the destination.
All right. So you guys are heading out?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for fun, because I really want this to happen. ESP, can you please give me a driving roll?
15.
I declare you will be the death of all of us.
When we get in the car, E is gonna ask if there's an aux cord.
Bluetooth enabled. Just connect.
Yeah, you guys got like a nice 2023 Mazda CX-5. It's pretty sleek.
Heck yeah.
Whatever you need, it's got. It's even got heated seats for you.
E's gonna connect her phone and start playing Run Run Rudolph by Chuck Berry. And start driving.
Okay. You guys are cruising. Yeah, even in these kind of packed streets, and as cars are moving aside because the police are coming by, and you guys are easily able to just like, whoop, we were never here. The police are driving past you with like 1, 2, 3 go by. A fourth one is tailing a little bit further behind, and you guys just go as if nothing ever happened and you were never there. You make your way to a point where, with E's help, you can tell like there's the nearest kind of dock. It's kind of unofficial looking, but what you do find when you get there is what appears to be like harbor patrol boat, but like a little different. And it looks like there was some additional mooring here where there was some kind of secondary boat, but it is no longer there. Just this one is here. But this would be probably the easiest way to get to wherever this nearest canal would be.
Taking the boat.
Yeah, because the way it is, like if you go along the river, right, you'd have to drive to where you need to be. You'd need a boat to actually like go.
It's just like a small boat, kind of.
It's like it's a riverboat. Not a riverboat. Don't say that. It is not the nachos. It is not a riverboat. It is a boat that can in fact go on the river. Imagine like a speedboat.
Okay.
There's room for all
I
you.
wonder if driving skills translate to boating skills.
No, we found out that apparently
Nope.
a boating skill is its own
There's a
thing
boating skill.
that none of us invested in.
If you take your time with it and you're very careful, it'll slow you down, but I'll let you make the roll without the penalty. But if you guys are in a hurry, it's just a standard boating roll that you are untrained in.
Get to the this might be a bad time, but I don't know how to swim. So let's
Okay.
let's make sure that this
so
is
glad
handled.
you told us before.
As a precaution, he is going to cast environmental protection on the whole group.
What do we gain from that?
So environmental protection allows the target to breathe, speak, and move at their normal pace in otherwise fatal environments. It protects against intense heat, cold, radiation, atmospheric or fluid pressure, and lack of oxygen. Generally, the adventurer can function normally underwater in space with the cone of within the cone of a volcano, etc. It fails quickly in the presence of super intense conditions, so actual lava or massive radiation or melting nuclear core. It also reduces damage from its sources by 6 with a raise if protecting against intense heat. For example, it protects against flamethrower or bolt with fire trapping. So it's 5 power points to do it on the whole group. It lasts for an hour, which is why it's also doing it before. Got
Don't
a
do
6 and then a 3, so it is with a raise, so that is good. So for an hour, and then also if we get any kind of damage from something that would be like an environmental thing, like the flamethrower, for example, it reduces damage by 6.
So then we're not worried about drowning, so we can try and go fast.
For an hour, we don't need to worry about drowning. But he could cast it several more times. So yeah, this is his inherent ability because of his luck. He learned environmental protection.
So that makes this nice and easy. You guys are taking the boat?
Taking the boat.
Let's go.
Wonderful. Who is driving the boat?
ESP will, if no one else does.
Beautiful. That's going to be a boating roll. Along with your wild die, if you are untrained, it is D4 minus 2 for just the skill roll.
Hey, that's a 6 on the D6. Plus a 3 for a total of 9.
Golly. So,
Mycroft is going to be the backseat driver for her as well, even though he doesn't know any more than she does.
Wait, is it a 9 or is it
is that how a gentleman behaves?
2?
Oh, sorry, minus 2 would be a 7. Thank you. So not a raise, but still
It
passes.
still passes. We're good.
You start up the boat with surprising ease and start setting out along the Mississippi River. And you're taking, as you're heading along, cruising, wind in your hair. This is probably one of the more calm moments, despite that you're potentially on a race. against time, against whatever the heck you're about to meet. But you follow the bends and curves of the river until you get to where it seems E was pointing you. Give me a notice roll. Everyone except ESP, because she's busy driving.
6.
5.
2.
So only E failed that one.
Correct.
Despite her being the one, she was just navigating. That's why she didn't notice.
She doesn't have any service out here. She doesn't know what's going on.
I mean,
That's what she's focused on. She's got her phone out. She's like...
as you guys are approaching one of the canals that is otherwise, you'd probably be worried you're running up against, like, actual harbor patrol. You do see one of their boats that is kind of just stuttering in the water. You hear it active, but you don't see anyone on it. What you do see are 2 bodies in the river, just gently adrift near the boat as you guys are going past. And then you start down past this kind of canal lock and down into otherwise thinner and thinning bayou. The further in you go, it's kind of feeling a little more eerie. You take this path. There are some areas you see it might start to wind and you wonder if you should head in that direction. In fact,
How dark is it?
it's still fairly bright out. It's only like early afternoon, but it does feel like it's getting darker as you're heading down the river path or the bayou.
13 does have those night vision goggles needed.
I don't think those are quite necessary.
Okay,
It's not that dark.
cool.
But good to have. Good to
Yeah.
have. E, if you are navigating, if with whatever directions you had at the very least, before service got a little splotchy, give me a survival.
I don't have that.
Oh no.
Hey. It's a 4 on the 4 and a 1, so a 5.
-2 though.
Oh, yeah. So a 3.
No. Wait, do you have any more bennies?
I can use a Benny. 4 on the 4.
Okay.
And a 1.
Again?
So... and I even rolled a 5 on
Same
my
thing.
6-sided die too, so I feel like that's fate. It really wants me to stay at 5.
You know? Sometimes it be like that.
It do be
Um,
like that.
There's a little bit of disorganization. There's some areas where the bayou begins to curl in another direction. It still seems like it might be a viable path according to the map, and then you realize it's not quite it, and you kind of get turned back. You have to kind of turn yourselves back around and follow the main path. You get caught up a number of times, which is a little frustrating, but you kind of manage to follow this path. Just as you kind of start to feel, in general, it's just feeling a little more cold as you guys are boating down. Everyone give me a quick notice check, please.
7
That's
seems to be my favorite
3.
number for.
Oh, I got double
For those.
sixes.
7s are good, right?
20.
I wanted this.
What do
So
his 13 eyes see?
13, you are particularly paying attention to all of this water you are surrounded by, because if you fall in, you are not coming back out. Other than your protection, which has been, you're counting the seconds of safety as they tick away. And as you're looking over the side and just watching it, you start to see what almost look like chips of ice floating along. And the further you go, you see more. It's further down is when, Mycroft, you now begin to see, like, when you look over, it's not just, you don't just see these chips, you didn't see them beginning. You just see when it's almost like the entire just gentle surface of the bayou is covered in this very thin, just easily fragmenting as the boat goes by, layer of chill. and
13
ice.
would have said something when he started seeing random chips of ice, though.
Mm-hmm.
He'd
You're the
just
first one to
like
notice.
stare at it and just be like, oh, okay, note it to himself and walk along.
Yeah, you also, as you're passing over it, little shadows beneath the water that seem to get ever closer and then just like kind of scrape alongside the boat. And then the boat goes past it. The shadow kind of sticks to its place. You seem to be going through and over these little shadows. When you see this, it becomes harder to see them as it becomes more like the solid kind of sheet of this fragmenting ice. You also notice that you are approaching an area that is kind of widening a bit. And you do see this kind of solid bit of land coming up that, considering you've kind of entered the swampy area, that land mass looks a little more solid, but the tips of the grass even seem to have a little bit of ice on them. And further back, you now see what appears to be some kind of greenish light that you're drawing towards, somewhere further back on this land mass. In order to get to the landmass proper, where that light is, the waterway kind of can go either way. You can either go kind of down a bit and you'll curl around and you'll be like right there smack on the landmass, but furthest from that light. Or if you wanted to get closer, you can kind of see where the waterway goes up a bit and you can come around and you can kind of maneuver the boat to get like closer to where this burning kind of greenish light is. That's what you see with a 20 for a notice roll. You are approaching a more solid landmass.
I say it to ESP about glowing lights and ways of getting to them.
All right, I think we want to try for the closer one. Get there sooner.
While they're taking the sooner approach, since you said that E got frustrated with the lack of cell service, 13's also going to give E a sticker. And it's got this sassy Christmas tree with a hand up, and it says, "Birch, please."
Yes, you can have a Benny for the sticker.
E will grin at him, and she'll take the sticker off and put it on the back of her phone.
Aww.
Love it.
Can I use a Benny to get some PowerPoints back? Was that one of the things?
Yeah.
It is. You can recover power points.
Cool.
5 power points when you spend it.
How much time has passed since you cast the environmental protection?
It's a pretty decent chunk of time. You had to travel pretty far to get down that bayou. I'll say roll a d10.
I got a 2.
You have
20 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
It was a long travel.
He will do it again if that's,
Yeah, that's
how
fair.
much time he has. And he got a 5.
So, what y'all can see, so you have the waterway. The options were to come down this direction, and then you're furthest from this green light, or up this direction. You can kind of probably have to stop. I mean, you might be able to maneuver through here, and you'd be closest to that green light. You chose to come in this direction?
Probably would have stopped if there was like a tree to give us a little bit of
probably,
cover
like, right
to try and.
here, I would say, because
yeah.
it looks like that would be kind of cut off eye light. It's not field of, or maybe right here. That would cut off field of view.
Gotcha. So yeah, what you see?
Uh-oh, he's swimming.
Ooh. Oh, don't worry about it. I just want her underneath the boat, and I don't know how
Oh,
to make
I
her
thought
not.
I was. I put her there to be like on the boat. Did
Right,
we
it
get
just-
off the boat already?
Yeah, our character's
Oh,
off the
okay.
boat.
Well, I was gonna mention when E stepped off the boat, she definitely slipped and fell and landed on her hands and knees into the edge of the water.
Give me an athletics
Minecraft
roll.
helped
So
her.
wait, is this frozen that's around us?
Hmm?
Is this area like all frozen? Or is it
So
just
it's not
like
that it's there's like a gentle icy layer, but it's not enough to hold anyone up, right? It's just
Okay.
very cold water in this otherwise like it's this weird sensation of the water being very cold and this layer of ice, but also like a humidity. Like it's a strange sensation, but it's chilly in this whole area. Maybe not that strange then. It's humid cold. You know the one, the wet cold that gets into your bones. It's like that.
I rolled
Okay.
a 4.
I deserve to ever.
Oh, what are we
try.
rolling? Oh, no, I was just
No,
E.
just
I rolled athletics.
Jesse. Okay.
You rolled a 4? Like with your hindrance subtraction too?
What was the hindrance subtraction?
Well, aren't you
You have
clumsy? Or maybe I don't know what you're rolling. I thought you
I'm
were rolling
rolling
because it was
athletics.
clumsy.
I don't
Yeah.
think the hindrance takes anything off of it, does it?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
were
do have
arguing-
-2 to athletics.
Just kidding.
And stealth.
Oops.
Sorry, it's not that time editing the last session. I held on to
I remembered.
people's
I remember
hindrances.
everything. Okay, so
I
a
rolled
2.
a 2.
Okay, yeah, to slip and fall into you like are just able to hold on. It's a little bit muddy beneath the kind of frozen layer over the water as you're trying to get up, and your shoes are kind of sticking as you're getting yourself back up onto this solid ground.
Mycroft helps her up.
Very kind of you. You will not be affected too badly because you do still have, for this moment, the protection up. So it's not like, oh, now I'm going to catch a cold and die. You're on land. You touch down up here. We'll move her onto this little corner here. There are trees. Imagine there's these trees. They're cypress trees, but there's only so much I can get from certain assets in my program.
13's gonna message on his phone to the group if they should approach stealthily to that direction, which is also why he's texting it.
I think we should be very stealthy.
Okay, we're doing.
Approach
Oh wait, he just
and
says the
try
one finger
to-
because it's a flip phone.
and try to do some recon before we start blasting this time.
Okay, so he's gonna, I guess, stealth it. Going
If you guys are stealthing, I would need a stealth roll from everyone.
I think.
You have that
I
skill.
do have some stealth.
That is
I
a.
do
You guys
also
all
get
should have
-2
stealth
to this.
because oh,
Oh,
poor baby.
the consistency.
that's a 4 in the
of
D4.
characters. Oh, that's a
Another 4 in the
D4.
D4.
Oh my
I
goodness.
rolled.
Another 4 in the D4.
All right, I got a
I
5.
got a 0.
Do you have any Bettys?
Oh yeah.
That's a 21.
I'm gonna spend another penny. Just one
I'm
more. I got a 0 again.
Oh my god.
It was
So
Well.
either a 0 or a 1.
One of these days, Cassie's gonna play a stealthy character, and we're all gonna be
Nah.
surprised.
what did you get, Mycroft?
I used a Benny and got a 7.
All that
Okay.
effort for nothing. As
All
he
their
just-
Necessarily.
quiet masks east loudness.
So
They
where are
made
you
it
guys
all of quiet.
if it's a group stealth,
on this massive land? You see some pockets, like swampy areas.
13's trying to
Fahrenheit.
maintain tree coverage, so he's gonna come up to here using the power of trees to get a visual. to get a
So-
visual.
So
he is
real quick,
harnessing the power of trees.
so real quick, so on this landmass, right? You do see some areas where the water creates these little pools. Pools is the word I wanted. You see a couple of these pools, one closer to where you started, one a little further, and where near where 13 rather just moved. There are trees, like you noticed, along the edges, that northern edge. A few more that are kind of shading that first pool, and a few more that are at the bottom side of that secondary pool. And then all the way at the southern side of this area, of this landmass, you see this row of more of these trees. So 13, you're moving along the tree line. Okay, where is everyone else moving? And what are you attempting to do?
We're
What is your
trying
goal?
to scope out the orange circle of green.
Okay, the orange circle of green
ESP
indeed.
will go around the trees the other way and try and sneak up around over here.
So as you guys are moving closer and moving forward, I'll say right now, what Mycroft and 13 can see from their vantage points, you see just this ring of green kind of, it looks kind of like fire. And you can just see where it seems to dip, like it might be leading into another one of these pools. ESP, being just a hair closer, you can start to see the tip of one of these pools. And you do see another bit of that ice layer over it. Yeah, it seems to be covering the ice layer. If you want to get closer, or if you want to try and make a notice roll, you'd be welcome to. It's up to you.
13,
Do a notice
where-
roll.
13's
Okay.
getting closer.
Okay.
If he's not
How close
seeing
you getting?
anything as he gets closer, he's gonna go right up to the brim there.
Yes, from that close, you also see this layer of that ice kind of forming over it.
Is there anything like looking underneath the ice or above the ice?
You would not be able to tell from like just looking. You would
That's
you can't see a
10.
shadow through. 10? Is she the only one who wants to do a notice roll?
Don't do a notice roll.
E would be a little
6.
too far back if she wanted to do a notice roll from
Ooh,
there,
he
or is she
got
just hanging back?
one.
Ooh, that's a lot of double ones.
9, 7.
Snake eyes. Yeah, you saw what you saw. Cool. Even getting closer, like the flames are just kind of these greenish flames that they don't seem to be hurting you as you get closer. They don't feel like much of anything, except maybe kind of cold. They otherwise impede your vision the closer you seem to get. E and Mycroft, you guys can see that layer of the ice, and it's a little bit of a drop than the other pools were. ESP, you can see not only is it another layer of ice, and it is deeper, but in your eyes, it looks kind of darker. Like whatever is below whatever the ice is covering is darker than even just like that swampy water. Just as E is coming up behind you, were you moving forward to see closer?
What's a better view?
Because it's not bugging. Yeah, no, for sure.
He's got that protection of environment.
How many?
Let's just walk into
He's
it.
feeling recklessly
Definitely.
emboldened.
He sure does. Maybe. As you guys are inspecting and looking closer, what you don't note is the ground below you, because you've been stepping carefully, for the most part, over this kind of ice-tipped grass. What you don't note is when below your feet, the grass kind of hardens, as if each one of them is its own little like icicle. And then in this kind of large circular boundary around you, you just watch as very abruptly, you think maybe it's the grass itself growing very suddenly, but it's like this dirt-tinged white of a kind of shell that begins to form in this circle around you and just starts to overhead just close in over. And very quickly, where you were looking at some bits of at least sunlight coming in, it immediately closes and seals off overhead. And you are in this dark, frigid dome.
Like this whole area. Also, he puts on his night vision goggles.
Pick up my flashlight.
This boundary, but also circular.
Okay. So we're very closed.
Yes. So it's this circular boundary.
No, that second one helps.
Yeah, it's fine, whatever. And you are completely closed in.
He's gonna stab his knife into the wall.
Okay. Meaning to do what? Just
break it?
test it out?
So it was like an icy wall thing that came up, right?
Not icy. As you bring your knife against it, and it like kind of looks like it's chipping away a little bit, and then kind of reforms itself just with a regular, just like chit. It's more like snow, like compacted, really compacted snow. It's almost like
so
an igloo surrounded you. Not if you're just kind of whatever, but you can make an attack roll against it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
As you hear this kind of guttural laughter outside of this barrier.
So 9.
You jam at it, and you watch as another kind of tuft of snow kind of kicks back in your face, but it appears to just like it just fills itself back in.
Can we see through it at all?
You cannot. It is like you are sitting inside of an igloo.
Does anybody have a match?
E is going to pull out her phone and try and see, because I'm guessing there's some sort of Oblivion database that she's looked at before for certain information, and just kind of see if there's any information about green fire and ice situations.
Oh, is the fire still there, since it did come up around the fiery area?
It is, but the part of the whatever was like inside of the pool, the ice there appears to have hardened much more now. Like that's not breaking as the other ice outside where it was like this thin film. It's much more like a solid ground now. Database. Give me, you're looking at
the great
specifically Oblivion information?
Of Oblivion.
Yeah, you know the one. Give me a tradecraft roll.
11.
Not the ice part per se, but maybe about a month and change ago, there was an encounter in Idaho that the agents there found this ring of green fire that seemed to be doing some dastardly things and
Wonder
some
who
blood.
that was.
And you hear again that laughter, and it's just kind of slowly growing. Everyone except E. You also hear these slow, kind of heavy footsteps approaching, and you hear it as it's crunching on some ice outside. And you hear a voice, and it appears it's hard to tell inside. You can give me a notice roll at a -2 for listening out.
4.
Dang. 3, you said?
4.
Yeah.
Okay, and E's just chilling. Those who succeeded, it appears to be coming from the south direction and coming up towards you. So it seems to be starting southern and coming up to just outside of where 13 is. And it says, "Oh, y'all been naughty. And now I got you in my trap. Just hold tight. This won't last long."
So does anybody have any matches?
No, but we do have guns.
I don't know if physical attacks like that seems to be working.
Well, 13, what you managed to like dig at it, and you got deeper than you had the first time, and you just kind of like meh. But it seems like you didn't quite.
Can you tell the direction of his voice?
It seems to be not far from where you are, actually. Probably just on the other side.
He's
We're
gonna take
nearing
a
it.
shotgun and shoot that wall with the
Are you counting your bullets?
Get on.
Yeah, he's only used 3 so far.
You're only shooting it. It only has a rate of fire of 1?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you can attempt a shooting roll.
sweet. So that is a 9.
A 9. Yeah, you take your shotgun, pow. The bullets sink into the snow, the compacted snow, and then the snow seems to just cover it back up.
Oh, I can't roll the damage to see if maybe how much damage it did and then potentially hop through.
Oh, right. I skipped it again, guys. I did it. He watched me do it. Well, technically, here's the thing, though. Actually, I may not have. I may have done
Well,
it
a
right.
4 is a success, and then a 9 would be a raise.
But this is breaking.
But the
It's
rule
probably
of
the
gun
same.
is 4.
The rule of gun is 4.
No, not person.
No, I think. Okay, yeah. I guess the hardness is just what you'd be trying to hit.
So
Can
it's 16
E
damage to the wall.
See, if this doesn't work, then we'll revisit what E wants to try to do.
Okay. 16 damage to hit the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, you blast at the wall and you watch as this time the shot goes through and you can now see this hole through
Can you
the
try
snow barrier.
Pushing through, like.
Uh,
So I mean, a shotgun fans out when it
yes,
blasts,
yes,
so it's
yes,
not like
yes.
it's one solid hole. So he's just gonna
Yes.
ram behind the shot.
You ran behind. I need everyone else to make me agility checks.
Okay.
But I need you to. What's your toughness? It's pretty high, isn't it?
Is a 6.
Ah, I see. That's just shy of it. You ram into the barrier, and the snow kind of gets on you. And at this point, your spell's probably faded.
Well, he cast
in a
it right
couple of
as we
minutes.
got here. Remember,
Oh,
he
you redid
recast
it
Yeah.
already. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Just kidding.
So he has a full
you
hour.
feel the ice. Yeah, you feel the ice, the snow hitting you, and it's frigid, but it's not enough to kind of really hurt you.
Cool.
What is everyone's agility? I'm not doing damage right for these things.
11.
7.
9.
Sounds like successes to me. So you guys manage to kind of like, you don't get covered in this snow as the entire barrier starts to collapse around you, but you feel how frigid it is as some of it's like brushing against your skin, but not enough to kind of impact you and cause any harm. And as this barrier disappears, I didn't mean to move you. Sorry.
Well, actually, he would have moved forward because he plowed through.
Oh, that's true. Then just beside you, what you guys see, just watching over, kind of not even phased that you busted through this barrier, you see this other enormous creature that reminds you first very much of the werewolf, of the Rougarou that had been down at the cafe. But this one is bigger. This one has a sharper face, bigger fangs, and these 2 curling tusks or 2 curling horns coming off the side of his head. And he has a grotesque grin on his hairy face that almost it looks like a Halloween mask, a very realistic Halloween mask, but it is full of life and not at all a mask. I need you to make another fear check. This hairy beast is definitely scaring the ever-loving heck out of you, ESP.
And that was.
So I still need to
spirit,
make a fear check.
Well,
Yes?
that's a bad.
No!
I think I'm just gonna. Wait, do we have community? Do we have community buddies?
For Maven?
Oh, we did enter a hostile situation.
This is
but-
definitely hostile.
I am gonna use one more of his just to see, but I don't.
So I'll
wanna...
roll that after the fear checks and see what we get. I got rolled a total of 7 minus total of 3 means a 4, which should succeed.
Aha, I got 9.
9 minus 2, or the minus 2 gets
That
you
was
to the
with
9?
the minus 2.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I need to stop doing that. Literally, so my first best roll was a 4, and then my second best roll after using a Benny was a 4, and then just to really hammer it home after my last Benny, double 4s.
Maybe your
So-
dice are weighted a little funny.
No, they can roll other numbers. I've been using them all night. They just like to
It's
make
just for
sure
bennies.
that
They're
I
scared.
get what they want me to get and use my bennies for no reason.
So, who did not succeed the check?
Sounds like E. and
Only
Minecraft.
E and Mycroft?
Oh no.
I
Okay.
crit failed.
Oh
Oh no!
Why are we getting so much of that? It seemed so implausible last time. I think we've tripled the amount at this
my
point.
God.
Minecraft, don't get a heart attack. Don't get a heart attack.
So much
So-
for comforting Claire with her phobia.
E
I
and
just die
Mycroft.
from a heart attack in front of her.
E and Mycroft, please roll a d20.
I got a 2. That would have been
That's
great.
good.
Then it
No.
would've-
A 2 on the
So-
D20 for the
but
fear
it's a-
chart's good.
I know,
It's-
but it's a
it's a-
4, so I get distracted instead of the adrenaline surge.
I mean, but that's much
Okay.
better than
I know,
what
it's
could
much
be.
better than a heart attack.
He acts as if he had a joker. Oh, that would have been good.
I
Yeah.
know.
How did we do, Mycroft?
Oh no.
I got a 22.
Oh no!
So that's fun.
Here is silver on the fear.
I
his
thought
heart
about-
stutters. He must make
I-
an immediate vigor
I-
roll at -2.
I thought about using the dice that I use for snow that I've gotten so many nat ones on. And I was just like, nah, it'll be fine. I'm gonna use the die for this set.
Ooh. Yeah, so,
Alright.
look, you're not dead yet.
Vigor.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
I
vigor
am
roll
so
at a
vigorous.
-2.
But I get a +1, right, to vigor rolls as well because of.
You get +1 to spirit rolls when attempting to recover from being shaken, and vigor rolls when attempting to recover from being stunned. Is a heart attack just a bigger version of a stun?
I think
The
that's
muscles of my
I am
heart.
so
I think
stunned
you
right now.
crossed the finish line at that point.
Can I use a Benny to try and influence the story to get him the +1 for it?
Sure. Spend
I
it. What you
can't
got
get
for
much
me?
more stunned than a heart attack.
What you got?
So
This
Alright.
thing is freaking scary.
If you get a
guys.
crit
Alright, so
fail on
here
the
goes down.
CSP.
in front of her, clutching his chest and looking like he's having a heart attack, Claire goes from being terrified to being absolutely terrified, falls down to her knees beside her friend, and starts shaking him. She is crying. She is.
You think shaking down somebody is gonna calm their heart?
Starts
Hey,
to
she's
It's like, calm down.
She's checking on him. She's probably crying and screaming. We just finished Thanksgiving together. You can't die on me now.
I feel like that would add so much more strain to the heart.
Come on.
But you have to use one of your bennies, I'll say, not the Maven bennies.
Yeah. I have one of my own left.
That
I was saving it
is-
for something.
How do we do?
That
Did
is
we
an
succeed?
11.
That is definitely a success. So, stunned.
So I'm stunned.
It's better than dead in 2d6
Look at that.
rounds.
What does that
okay.
mean, though? Stunning.
Stunned means I'm getting it right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, geez, you die in 2 rounds?
2d6.
Only if he's
2d6.
incapacitated. He didn't fail, so he's just stunned,
Yeah.
not incapacitated.
Oh, okay.
Stunned characters are distracted, vulnerable, fall prone, can't move or take any actions, and don't count on gang up bonus. At the start of a stunned character's turn, he makes a vigor roll as a free action. Success means he's no longer stunned, but remains vulnerable till the end of his next turn. So you're going to be a little bit vulnerable for a minute.
And
Now it
Claire will
counts.
move in front of him to get between him and the creature.
And the great big creature.
Oh, he would move here.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you see this towering creature just laughing. And as you guys are moving, about and trying to like position yourselves quickly, you do note on the ground now that it's not just like these vines and the hardened earth, but you also now see pieces of bone, some smaller fragments, some longer entire sections of body, of bone, all of them kind of around this dark pool, which now that you are this close and not in the freezing igloo of magic, you see that it is darker underneath that pool. Some of it seems to have cracked as you guys have been moving over it, and dribbles of red are kind of seeping out from between the cracks. The creature looks completely otherwise unfazed, taking you all in. I don't think it wants to talk. I think it wants to just go ahead and eat some flesh.
I may have missed it. What's our community pool of bennies like right now?
Oh, I rolled for we have 2. Didn't get as many raises this time.
That's fine.
Oh, that's why you had so many.
Yeah, she had like I think she had like
Holy.
22 or 21 the last time.
Yeah.
That is
It's
something.
better than none.
Yes, it
It
is.
It was better than none, especially as we deal out some action cards. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Against the
No,
creature?
let's go.
We got 2
All right.
people that are completely
Mycroft is so ready. I don't know what you're talking about.
Minecraft's just glad he didn't have a full heart attack.
He's like, I'm up. I'm ready. To the creature, starting strong with an ace. To 13. 4 clubs.
That does not count for him.
Ah, that's right. What does he get instead?
Hey,
How's a jack sound?
That works. Not as good
Excellent.
as an ace, but it's still...
That's okay. You might be able to help before people die. A king for our king, Mycroft.
He was stunned. Our stunning
Oh
king.
yeah. Our stunning king.
So stunning.
Oh, it's the Joker
Hello,
again.
Claire.
Oh,
I've seen this movie before.
I get that. I like that. Let's do
With the
that.
the Joker will give everyone +2 immediately. +2 bennies, everyone.
oh, heck yeah!
Oh, +2 bennies.
+2
So that-
bennies for
So
everyone.
also add 2 to our community pool.
Not to the community pool. It will add +2 to whatever it is that Claire, that ESP, is choosing to do when she takes her action.
So that means it's no -1, so just a +1. Sweet.
And also, Claire, it acts like a hold. You can use it whenever you would like, and you do not need to roll to interrupt. You take your action whenever you please. And E has the 9 of clubs. So, ESP, at any point, you are welcome to act. Are you acting?
Yes, she's acting immediately. She's going to take out her pistol, and is each time I shoot with it an action?
Yes.
Okay.
But if you have double tap plus that +1, you'd be getting you would cancel out the negative if you shoot twice.
Where do I see if I have double tap?
If
Or
you have
how
a
does that-
Your pistol
semi-automatic
does.
pistol, then you have it.
Cool.
It's just that it
Yeah.
takes 2 rounds when you use it.
So count your bullets.
Gotcha. Okay, so we will go for that, which means rolling, shooting. So that is 16 rolls. What are all the pluses and minuses again?
So you have the default from the Joker, and then if you're double tapping that, and then if you're doing 2 actions, it would -1. So you would just level
He's
up.
not going to do
16.
2 actions.
So,
Oh, okay, if it's just the one,
You're
then
just
you
doing the
get
one.
+2.
Okay.
Yeah.
so it's a grand
that'd
total
be
of
18.
yes.
How many
No
damage
worries.
dice is it?
It's 2d6 by
2d6.
default, but you're going to be getting another d6, so you got 3d6.
Cool. 21.
21 total. Let's go ahead and spend one of my pretty little bennies. I've got one of Dam's. To make a bigger roll. So he is shaken with 1 wound instead of 2. As you fire at this tremendous creature and it hits him, and he kind of looks down and looks back up at you, ESP, and shakes his head. You only making it worse for yourself.
You don't touch my friends.
Anything else you'd like to do, ESP?
Can 13 ask ESP to move back some? Mainly because he could still get to her, and I won't get an opportunity attack if he goes there.
Oh, I see what you mean. You can get a free action to call out.
Yeah, so he's gonna... ESP, can you move back just a little bit.
Your area on the map doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So
Visually.
I'm like right here, but she's trying very
Yeah,
much
that's
to
good.
stay between creature and.
And that's your movement?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I think it is our friend's turn now. As he holds out his arms laughing.
Oh no, does he have
And
rubber
kinda-
band arms?
No, it's not the wacky inflatable flailing
Stretch arms
tube arm man.
He just stretches it out and he grabs her and pulls her over.
Don't you diminish my bad guys. My dice rolls will do that just fine on their own, thank you.
I mean, I was adding to him. I was saying he could stretch it out and pull it towards him. That's a pretty cool ability.
Sure. No,
Last away.
he reaches out like right in front to you, 13, and you feel this kind of flickering of something, this kind of fluttering of sensation that's
Like a cool,
kinda doesn't hurt.
warm sensation.
no, it's just kind of a forceful sensation.
Oh, well, that's gross.
As he reaches out to you, you kind of feel the strength in your body start to waver a little bit. You feel like, and you get that pins and needles kind of feeling in you. Your fighting or skill.
For my life.
Your fighting skill, your fighting die
Uh-huh.
is going to drop by 1
Permanently?
for a duration.
Okay. I want to move it because I'm going to forget, but I also don't know if I'm going to be rolling it. So I'll just remember fighting die 6 because it wasn't D8.
Okay, and at the end of your next turn, you will be able to try and shake the feeling. You feel like weakened. And he's like, give some taunting, this what happened when you get on the naughty list.
Oh, is that all you're doing?
And he'll laugh it off. But it will be,
Is it still shaken? Or does that go away on its turn?
Oh, he did not. Oh, I'm sorry. He can't
Oh.
do any of this before he attempts to unshake. You're absolutely right.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
He needs to
No, we
shake
don't
it
want
off.
to shake it off.
Well.
That's a spirit roll.
It doesn't go with
He
the
is a
song to say
spirited
don't shake it
individual."
off. Don't shake
Okay.
it off.
We want him to shake, rattle, and roll because he's gonna die.
It's fine. He is no longer shaken, so that stands
So I'm
That
all
is his
wibbly
turn.
wobbly.
with his. Next up is Mycroft.
All right, I am stunned. Yes.
Yes.
So what can I do?
I'm doing
at the
my
start
part.
of your turn, please make a vigor roll for me.
And add 1 to it.
6.
Yeah, that's a success. So you are no longer stunned, but you are vulnerable. Vulnerable means enemies attacking you get a +2, but you have been able to kind of shake off the near heart attack you had.
Okay.
Otherwise,
But I can stand up.
you can stand.
I can fight.
All right.
I can see.
I stand up, draw my pistol, and move to the other side of Twitter.
Oh, let me add the trappings to that spell too that he cast. When you felt that pins and needles sensation, it looked like pinpricks of ink kind of covering your skin and covering your whole body. And it almost seemed to look as if it were scribbling, like little bits of writing going across your skin. And for you, it's
Kind
like
of umbrage nonsense is
everything. Yeah, right? What comes to mind is like every thing you might regret, any deed you've done that you regretted afterwards kind of sank through your mind for a moment as you started to feel weaker.
Mycroft will end his turn by pointing his gun at the creature. His other hand is out in front of Claire, and he's just gonna call out a little bit weakly. You best be moving on. You should have seen what we did to the other guy this morning. After he just pulls himself off the ground.
From having a heart attack.
His
From
hand's
almost
still
having
over
a
his
heart
heart
attack.
a little bit, and he's got the gun out.
Breathing hard. He's breathing so hard.
Meanwhile, he's just over there in the trees.
And he just and the beast just shakes his head. That ain't nothing compared to what I'm gonna do to you.
13,
Next up would
I
be
think.
13.
So he's going to move down, and then he's going to do 2 actions. The first one is to get everybody protected. Got a 6 on the d6, and a 1, so that's 7 minus 2, so that's 5, so it works. So everyone now has protection. And then he's gonna blast. Got 4 of the shotguns. Ooh. Okay, so I got 2 dice that were 6s. So 15.
15 for the shooting roll?
Yeah, for the damage.
Oh, for the damage.
Yeah, he already shot it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be... Okay, let's see if we can do better.
Wait, do better. What
Yeah.
does that mean?
He's gonna see if he can not take...
What does it mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What does it mean?
I keep
Oh,
thinking
you
of Jennifer
do a
Lawrence
spirit
doing
roll.
the wing
Yeah.
challenge.
Really?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's it.
No, he's rolling his spirit.
Oh,
To try
okay.
and soak is what I mean. Yeah, you blast him and he's shaken up by that blast. He's a little shooketh, not wounded.
So he still just has 1 wound though, or did he also
Correct.
patch that
No,
up?
he did not.
A little
He
dab.
didn't roll that well. He didn't roll that well.
All right, go off to distracted person number 2.
All right. Then next up it is. So let's get rid of that one. And E with your 9 of clubs. What you doing back there?
Okay, so moving. And
Oh, girl,
she's
where you going?
Just taking a hike.
Well, just trying to get some sort of line of sight. So she's gonna shoot at him with her pistol. I'm gonna use a Benny and reroll.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got
was
6s on both of them this time. So I get to re-roll both of them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a 10, so 8.
Yep, so that's a success and a raise. So you'll get an additional D6.
14.
Okay. Yeah, he's looking not happy, and that laughter. He's still laughing as you're shooting at him, but he's also like, there's a grimace in that otherwise like wrinkled and ugly face of his.
I'm still amazed that so far we've taken more damage by a couple of pumpkin kids than anybody else
He
in
hasn't
our
had
lives.
a chance to get to you, and I keep forgetting things like action economy when it's 4-on-1.
I mean,
Yeah, that
me.
makes a little bit of difference.
He's
Or-
gonna look back at him while he's doing that weird laughing thing and just be like, dude, what is your deal?
We're gonna deal out some more cards. As this commotion is going on, you see these 2 kind of familiar bodies, people entering from the lower brush. And you see
pumpkin kids?
Goon Squad. There were
They
pumpkins,
now
I'm
the
scared.
troopo is here. We all tremble with fear.
They're pumpkins.
Nope. But you do see Goon Squad appearing from
Oh, we love
south.
a good goon squad.
Oh yeah, we got Goon Squad appearing, who will be on the creature's roll as they call out to their leader or master or whatever it is. We've been good! We're being good! And they pull out their pistols. You know, I'm really tired of saying monster and creature and whatever, so they yell out, "We've been good, Krampus! We've been good!" And they come running out.
It's crap.
So
Yes, it was Krampus!
Krampus in the chat.
I thought I deleted all of it. I did, and I apparently did not. With a 2? Freaking lame. 13.
Because he's lame.
Dang. You're destroying the atmosphere. It's gone straight to our man Flint and Scooby-Doo. A 6 is the lowest you're allowed to get, yeah? 13?
That is the lowest, yes.
6 it is. Mycroft with the 6 of diamonds. ESP with the 3 of clubs.
Draw a
She got
second
two
one
on
and
one.
see if it's lower.
Oh, it is not lower. So you stay with the 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. And E with a jack. All right, E. You hear these 2 goons yelling behind you as they're running up, guns drawn.
Is E still
And then you see Krampus
distracted?
head. The end of your next turn. So this one, yes, and then this will be the last.
Okay. She's gonna still shoot at Krampus. And then she'll double tap this time. 9 to hit.
Yeah, that's a success and a raise.
Another 3d6.
Ay. Guys,
And I am double tapping this time, so how does that
So you just add 1
It's
to
just
the
plus
damage.
1.
to the whole
Not plus a
damage?
die, just plus 1 to the number. Whatever
Okay.
you end up getting.
21, 22.
Is your damage?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use up their stuff because I can.
And then she's
You're not so
gonna
cool.
move. And while this
Sorry.
is happening,
Uh-huh.
E is listening to All I Want for Christmas is My 2 Front Teeth.
Acceptable. You shoot this guy, you watch that laugh kind of pause mid utterance as he just holds the place where you shot him, and he starts to sink to his knees. He does not appear to be able to take any actions at the moment.
Did he get like a
He falls to
crit
his
fail
knees.
on his vigor?
Falls to his he appears to be incapacitated. E, is there anything else you're doing?
Just doing a little dance in the trees.
So Mycroft,
Hearthstone
as you hear these two come running up. Oh, well, I guess technically oh no, just kidding, no it's not. I lied, go on.
And these two they pulled out their pistols and everything, and they're
They look quite hostile.
attacking. So he is going to move over a little bit, and he is going to take a shot at this one.
I think you have a range penalty from that distance.
So your range is in yards. To have no penalty would be 12 yards. That's going to be 6 squares. If you break the full
So
range, you
minus
just
2.
can't shoot. If you want to stay where you are.
Move up a little.
Can move.
Nope, he's gonna stay where he is.
If you double,
Thank you.
if you double tap, it would only be a -1.
True. I've only got a D4 for fighting, so he will do that to make it just a -1.
It's a shooting roll. I don't know if that makes a difference, but if you're using your gun, it should be specifically a shooting roll.
Yes. Sorry. It's a D4 for the shooting.
Okay.
We're gonna be hoping for that lucky die.
This is not my strong suit.
That's a 4 on the D4.
Hey!
There you go. That's how it's done.
+1. And -1,
Okay.
so 4.
4 is a success. And remind me which one you were shooting
2d6.
at, left or right?
Left.
Done.
That
Brenna,
is-
Come on now.
9.
You strike him. The guy on the left, as he's running, you strike him with a bullet, and he immediately topples, falls to the ground.
Mycroft gets a little more pale.
Anything else you're doing, Mycroft?
No.
Okay. 13. You see the fallen body of the Krampus. You see him on the ground in front of you, and you also see one more of Goon Squad.
And is that at the end of my turn, or just on my turn I could do that thing to get my fighting back? Or does it not take effect
The
anymore
spell-
since he is...
He's incapacitated. The spells.
So he's got his regular thing back? The D8?
Mhm.
He is going to have a plan. Oh,
You love a good
plan.
7.
You like
squares away.
plans.
Well, my plan is less planny right now. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Whoa. Was I doing the line to him, or was I doing the line... Oh, that's 6! Haha! Now my
To the
plan's
tree?
back in here.
For the
He's gonna
shrubbery?
run down here, he's gonna whack him with a cane.
All right.
I mean, these people will
Whack-a-mole.
probably be much more coherent to question than the Krampus guy, so he's not trying to just kill him dead, but he's gonna whack him with a cane. But he has his
Sure.
fighting back, so
Sure.
that is in D8 and a D6. Oh no. I do have bannies, so I'm gonna use one of them.
And we still got 2 community bennies.
Oh, that's true, the community. I would like 1 community Benny, please.
Request the community Benny.
Ooh, that was worse.
You get to at least take the better of them.
Oh, I can? Of all the rolls? I got a 5. It was the highest.
Yeah, 5 hits. 5 hits to
dang.
parry.
All right,
Mhm.
cool. The plan's back. So that is a
Smack him with a stick.
strength plus D4. Come on. Ooh, 3 damage.
3 damage.
Probably just, or are these guys just super feeble?
Yeah, you whack him with a stick, and he's glaring at you with his gun drawn.
Yeah, but he has a penalty for shooting me that close.
he may yet. He may yet.
If he goes away, still got my stick.
I still got a stick. Anything else you'd
I
like
got
to do
my
this turn?
stick,
No.
young feller.
Okay, that brings us to ESP.
ESP would like to try and read Krampus's mind,
Okay.
looking for an
Okay.
answer to the question, who are you working for? Or who is in charge? Who is in charge of this?
Are you clarifying what this is?
If you're taking orders
sorry.
from someone, who is it? And if not, why? Like, why are you doing this? We'll use our clauses and semicolons to get a long question.
How does the mind reading register these clauses?
We'll see.
These
Says
When
it
if-and
out
she's,
loud
she's
to make
asking
sure
it
it
aloud and saying, semicolon, if not,
comma.
This reminds me of
comma.
Excel
Full stop.
formulas. If this, then that.
It's a her mind
Exactly.
reading is a telegram.
So that is a 5 on the check. So if he can be, he's aware that his mind is being read. And then
Oh, okay. That's all? All right.
that's all.
So your question was,
Who are you taking orders? No. We'll keep it simple. Who is the witch?
Ooh,
oh, that's a great question.
There we go.
That's
To
a
get
wonderful
there, you
question.
know?
Your question, who is the witch?
Mm-hmm.
And you get an answer that the witch is the one who summoned him here and told him to gather the naughty blood.
Formal noun?
Okay.
I just said formal noun. That means name.
Oh,
Proper noun?
Proper noun, that's
Proper-
it.
like formal
I know it's
noun?
something like
We've been
that.
talking about nouns and verbs and adjectives recently. I don't remember that one.
I thought you were asking a very
formal,
clever question and I was missing it.
Proper,
Like,
formal,
like
same thing, same thing.
proper noun. The witch. Well, she didn't ask that question, so you don't get that answer. ESP, anything else you're doing?
She's going to grab onto Pierre's jacket sleeve. And just like hold it, because she is still very scared of the fact that she's so close to this creature. She just read its mind and it's a little bit jarring.
Yeah, probably. And last but certainly not least, the goon squad who had taken a hit from 13 has his gun drawn. He kind of doesn't seem like he's focused on you, 13. As he kind of tries to, yeah, it is rude. It's because you just gave him so much attention, whacking him with a stick.
The heck, man.
So he can't stay where you are, but he kind of pushes forward, and he doesn't get far enough that you can like grab him. But he pushes forward and drawing his gun. And for a moment, you're thinking like, oh no, he's gonna aim for, someone vulnerable. But he holds out his gun and he fires.
At himself?
No, he fires forward.
At Krampus.
Can I use a community Benny to grab him as a plot-changing device? We have one community Benny in the pot, and he's just gonna bear hug him, community Benny style.
I don't want you to do that. I guess I've introduced mechanics, but I don't want you to do that.
Well,
he's
you
the
did
one that
say that
feels
was
pushed.
at your discretion.
It is at your discretion.
Yeah, it is
whatever
at your
it is.
discretion, but
But it also feels weak.
You're the game master.
I
yeah.
feel weak to be like, no.
A penny for a bear hug? Come on.
Right? You'd have to. I would allow
I
it.
mean, you can still shoot. You can
Yeah.
still shoot while being hugged.
It would, when I feel because if you aim up and your arm goes down, I mean, you could shoot, but it's not going to
You're
shoot
able.
that
I mean,
far.
unless you got around his middle. So here's what we'll do.
I mean, he's a big guy.
He is
He's
a
got
big
long
guy.
arms.
Look, I didn't say Goon Squad wasn't
Also a big
goonish.
guy.
They're goons. You know, they're not little things. So let's do it this way. He's a big guy, but he's not quite as bulky, maybe, as you are. Not quite as, like, muscular, maybe, as you are. So I'll let you spend the Benny in order to make this a free action, in order to have an actual effect versus, like, a support. I'll let you make an athletics, but it is at a penalty. You will make it at a -4.
I got a -1.
Oof.
Somehow you make it even worse.
I
just kinda guide his
to his
arm.
shot. How'd that happen?
He was
Yeah.
going to miss. You're like, here, let me correct that.
Your shooting stance
right
is
there.
terrible. Yeah, so you watch him aim, you try to stop him by grabbing him, and he gets the shot off. And with incapacitated Krampus, it's much easier to get the shot off as he just lets off. His arm kind of recoils a bit, but he lets off these 2 shots that hit true. And you kind of watch as these bullets strike at his flesh. They weren't called shots. Otherwise, it'd be at a real disadvantage there. But you watch them strike his flesh near enough to his chest that if he's any kind of humanoid-like, you know it's hitting something vital inside. Little wisps of what almost seem like this steam, maybe, coming out as the body on the ground assuredly stops moving and almost starts to kind of shiver and then crack a bit and then start to fall apart and crumble. More of these wisps of this. It looks like it should be steam, but you still get that wash of cold coming over him as the steam starts to drift upwards. They take little forms that start to become familiar as they start to spell out words. You see the words spelling out. One says naughty, one says nice, and the nice kind of dissipates. The word naughty is just flashing in the smoke. Before that, and Krampus's body start to dissipate and disappear into the softening, you now realize, earth of this little platform of earth, this little otherwise hardened earth in the swamp. It's starting to soften and become that same muddy texture you expect of a swamp. And your feet are starting to sink in a bit. I will say that will end the initiative.
And 13 just kind of put the cane up to the guy's throat until he passes out.
Choke him out real quick.
Yeah.
As an extra, sure. Yeah, that shouldn't take too long.
Real quick, let me just
Just knock him out.
let me just strangle this man real
That's your
fast.
point. Are you hoping to kill him or just
No.
knock him out?
He just wants to knock him
Non-lethal.
out. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
And he's gonna
Kill
take the
people.
guy's tie and then use the tie to tie up his arms behind his back.
Are the green
Okay.
flames
Better tie
gone
it tight.
as well?
Yes, the green flames seem to flicker and die.
Claire would like to see if it still looks like there's blood in investigate the pool again. That looked dark.
Yeah, give me a notice roll.
I can't move the guy, but just know that 13 is pushing him, like carrying him this way.
Where?
Where he's going.
There,
Where
he's
he
with you.
goes, Thug goes too.
That's a 4.
Yeah, you look down and now there is no sheet of ice there, but you do see that what you can now see looks like bloodied water. But rapidly, there seems to be swamp water mixing in, swirling in with what was otherwise bloody, as the ground is getting especially damp.
She'll make a note of that, and she'll turn to Pierre and just give him a hug.
All right.
Returns it tightly.
Aw.
He's looking at you guys from across the way like,
Are you okay?
She knows what's up.
I'm fine. You're the one who went down.
It was just a scratch. I'm fine.
just a scratch.
Well, good. It'd be a pain to have to explain this to people.
Yeah, I was saying, when did he get touched? It was just a scratch. Mentally.
It's a scratch on my aorta.
Mental scratch.
And then once she's assured that Pierre's okay, she's going to go over to E and give her another hug and ask her how she's feeling.
As the ground is dampening.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Said, are you okay? Do you feel any lasting effects from that sleeping pills? Are you struggling? Do you need some rest? Do you need some medicine? What can we do for you?
Oh, I'm just fine. I feel like I
Sure?
had a great nap, and now we got rid of some bad guys. It's going great.
Good. We should probably get back to the boat. This ground seems to be disintegrating in a way.
Indeed, you'll end up you're gonna be looking even shorter than you normally do.
You might stoop to my level. All right, let's go. And she wants to get and starts hurting people.
You guys start trudging. Are you still dragging this
Are we
man with you?
taking the guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I
You guys
suppose we'll question him when he awakes.
You guys start trudging through this now very swampy little landmass back to your boat. The flames have flickered down. You've lost sight now of the pools that had formed before. And it's just, by the time you get into the boat and begin making your way back out of down the bayou, that whole landmass appears to be gone. Just sunk in deep under the muddy waters. As you guys make your way back up towards the Mississippi, back up towards what seems like standard civilization again, and with your unconscious reward, maybe?
Does he have any
Maybe
ID
a chance
on
to
him?
finally get some answers?
Yeah, can we
ID?
loot the body?
Wallet?
Sure, you can take a look.
It's fine if you don't have that information right now. I'm just like, like he would look
No.
in case that becomes pertinent in the future.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you that you don't find anything
Okay.
except another one of those notes. The same note that was on poor Liza, the server. Found another note like that. But as you guys are, just as the swampy area is getting out of sight, E, can you please, for me, if you would, please make a spirit roll.
That is a 4.
Your music is going. You're kind of not fully paying attention anymore to what's happening. The job is done. Another success. You guys you've got this hostage, so to speak, but you know the others will deal with it. And this is probably the smoothest that any kind of creepy creature mission has ever gone. You're inclined to look behind you as the boat is trailing along. And you don't see anything. You don't see anything, just as you're a fair distance away. However, despite the chipper tune, which tune is now playing?
Well,
Your headset?
it just switched, but when that was happening, it was the Charlie Brown holiday theme song, the little
Aww,
skiddy-doo on the piano.
it's so nice. That's so enlightening. It's just really full of the Christmas spirit. And so as your eyes just trail along the path that you had been, right in the direction of where that landmass had sunken below the water, you can't help but feel this sudden, chilly sadness, just deep, deep in your soul. It just kind of clenches around your heart. And just ignoring the whole rest of the trip back up to the river, nothing else registers to you except that spot, that sadness, and maybe in the very back of your mind, this green flame. And I think that is a successful mission, agents. Congratulations. Thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean content to the world of tabletop RPGs. A particularly huge thank you to my players, whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people. David, who plays 13, Catherine, who plays ESP, Kassie, who plays E, and Josh, who plays Mycroft. I'm Brenna, I'm your director for this adventure, and we will see you back here next time. Happy Advent, Merry Christmas, and safe travels until we meet again.